To come back for more. Join the Government Taco Rewards program and earn 1 point for every $1 you spend and a $5 discount for every 100 points you redeem. You can join now by visiting govttaco.com, and the Government Taco Totalitarian Package gets you 2 tacos and your choice of queso or salsa with chips and a fountain drink for just $12. And pick up Margarita Go Cup tumblers and bring it back for 10% off refills. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Cut through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Wednesday, September 20th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with the high of 94. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn joins the show in studio for a full hour of flestering at 8 a.m., and we talk Saints with Nick Underhill at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz at Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. OTB, September 20th, 2023. Rolling right along here on this Wednesday. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Taylor hanging out with you. Matt Flynn coming up for some flestering a bit later on. We have completed our Arkansas film review. We will give you the findings in this first hour. As always, we invite you to get involved at youtube.com/1045 ESPN. I'm opening up the chat now. Hope everybody had a great night last night. Soka was awesome.
All chat.
We'll get to that in good call in the all chat. We'll get to that in hour number 3. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share. You already know how it works, my friends. What's up, boys? How we feeling today? What's up, Jake?
Game day today for the 4th grade flag team.
Nice.
The Ducks.
Heck yeah, dude. Go Ducks.
Quack, quack. Ducks fly together.
That's right.
Hadn't come up with a flying V play yet.
Well,
probably,
that seems like an oversight.
It's probably a bad deal on me.
Are you one of the coaches?
This is the 4th grade team, so yeah, it's I'm the head coach on this one.
Well, that's on you then.
It's falls right on me.
Yep.
But you know what? There's time. There's time for a late season addition to. We need to get sponsors so we can get like the old school like Mighty Ducks jerseys.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Man. Sponsor to fourth grade. What sponsor for the? Somebody sponsor the team. Somebody sponsor the team.
There's a lot of baseball teams that are sponsored.
Yeah,
why not a flag football team?
It's true. It's true. Mario, what's up, man? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. I remember the flag football days. Good times.
What about you, Taylor? I don't think I ever played flag football.
I don't think I did either.
Really?
Feeling good. I also have never played flag football.
What time did you start playing football?
They don't play flag football in Livingston. Nope.
No.
Straight to tackle.
I started at 9.
I think I started at 7.
Oh wow.
7, 8, somewhere in there.
I was like 5.
It's a little early. Yeah, those are a little early for that full contact for me.
I had an older
grade.
brother, so.
3rd grade, but I had the September birthday, so I guess I was 7, like about to be 8.
All right, look, let's go ahead and dive into the show, and we will get to the Greg. We will get to the Greg Brooks news as his family's issued a statement on what is going on. But first, let's start talking a little Arkansas. As, like I said, dove into that Arkansas BYU film beginning to end and felt like I learned a lot about this Arkansas team. There is some sort of inexplicable stuff, but I feel like you have some very distinct advantages. Jake, I don't know about you, but I came away very unimpressed with Arkansas's defensive line. They don't look small or anything. Like if you just saw them, eye test, like okay, they have pretty good size, but they showed an almost complete inability to affect the game with just them. They were having to add people if they wanted to get any pressure on Keaton Slovis. For the second game in a row, I expect LSU's offensive line to dominate.
And remember, BYU have been struggling coming into that point as well. So
Yeah.
it's not like BYU has this stout offensive front. They lost a couple of draft choices or NFL guys over the last couple of years. And a school like BYU, you lose something like that, it's hard to replace, and it shows up on tape. And
Their right tackle's no good.
And
BYU.
they've been struggling.
Their left tackle's awesome.
They've been struggling to run the football.
Yeah.
BYU has, which is crazy because they've always been able to run the football, be more physical. But when you're talking about the Arkansas defensive line, like, this is not like a really good offensive front that they just win against either.
No, I think BYU. Like I said, they got a really good left tackle. I like the left guard. Their right tackle doesn't seem really good at all. But
I believe the right tackle for BYU, if I'm not mistaken, slid over to the left from a year ago.
Yes, it's that guy that, remember, we talked about on the freaks list before the season.
Yeah.
He's the guy that could reach like 23 miles an hour, and he's like
Yeah.
6'8". He's like one of the top NFL prospects. But again, so their left tackle, fine, whatever. The point is, you have two great tackles on this LSU line. And you're training a third in Lance Hurd, who, again, I don't think we talked about Lance too much in the film review. I thought from last week, Hurd, it clearly looked like you see all the potential. It's still great, but it's still a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Miles Frazier still represents your best five out there right now with the rotation, so guys stay fresh into the fourth and whatnot. So, look, I think LSU's line should dominate, and then by extension, Jake, I'm expecting just another huge game out of the offense. Like, I think that Arkansas, unless they're just going to change because they did this for a matchup standpoint, they seem to want to play a lot of man in this game. And like I said, if they wanted to try to generate pressure, they had to add numbers, so it kind of made them fall into man. I mean, it kind of forces your hand, I guess, a lot of times. But I think the opportunity for explosive plays will be there the same way that they were this last game. And Jaden Daniels should be willing to trust his receivers to win those one-on-ones and should have the protection to deliver the throw like he did last week.
Looking at the breakdown, as you mentioned, a couple of man coverages. I mean, they played cover one, which is a man coverage 27.1% of the time. They played two-man 8.5% of the time, so we're already talking about 35% man at this point already, and quarters 20% of the time. So, I mean, another 3.4% on man. So they're trusting their defensive backs. I mean,
Dwight
we're up
McLaughlin, one of them.
Look, it's 40% right now. Just last game, they played man against BYU. Now, how much of that was because
It's BYU.
they had the advantage they felt like against BYU? Are they really going to try to go play cover one, two-man, all these coverages against Malik Neighbors?
Well, so that's where it gets interesting, right? Because if they felt like they had an advantage against BYU, it didn't end up playing out that way.
Yeah.
Like, BYU's receivers won in very big moments. And so if I'm just game planning, it's like, no, I would not want to play man against Malik Neighbors and Chris Hilton and Brian Thomas, especially not after what I saw last game. But, Jake, I would ask you, how much of it do you think is just that's their identity, right? Because you can't just get away wholesale from what you do. And so I wonder, and to be fair, what do you think? Have you seen Jaden? Do you think he's struggled more against zone than man this year?
I mean, I would think man coverage with his receivers would be an easier situation.
I think so too, but then it's like I also feel like he's done a pretty good job
in
this last game of finding those
Yeah,
holes.
because he's played really well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, so it's not like it's got one coverage that's going to be better than him against the other right now because he's in that zone and they'll be aggressive. But again, like we're going back and we're trying to figure out, okay, who are they going to be in this game? You have to remember they've had the advantage in every game they've played, Western Carolina, Kent State, BYU. And so you go back and you see a lot of two-man, you see a lot of cover one and different things. It's like, okay, well, are they really going to do that against LSU? Or is it going to be more of what they ran kind of in the fourth quarter once you mentioned BYU's receivers started to have some success and they started to go to quarters coverage?
Okay.
So that, to me, tells me that that's probably something that they would start in against LSU and not go straight. Look, if they go man across the board and you're LSU, you're loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you do because I think that out of the four defensive backs, you're going to have the advantage on all of them and certainly on three of them.
Yeah, and so I think that Arkansas, and this is where Arkansas gets put in a tough spot then, Jake, because what you just said, it's not ideal to go man because, like you said, you should have advantages in at least three of those matchups. You then combine that with if your front four can't get pressure by rushing LSU's offensive line, which I think they will struggle to do, well, then what do, right? Do you add numbers and test those matchups that you don't feel great about? Do you sit back and let Jaden Daniels have all day to kind of sort things out and figure things out? Early on against BYU, they were bringing a lot of numbers on 3rd and longs and trusting those matchups. Yeah. Mississippi State tried that against Jaden Daniels last week. They got burned. And then they started dropping into coverage, and they still got burned. So Arkansas, again, I love for the second week in a row the offensive matchup with LSU here. I wonder about the running game because it does seem like BYU ended up having a bit of success on all, and they run a lot of
not this year at all.
Yeah, but they run a lot of gap scheme like powers, counters, hobos, stuff like that. LSU doesn't do a lot of that.
No, they don't do any really.
So I wonder like. I mean, I think the offensive line is good enough to just straight up just like zone block them. But I guess I'm trying to put my finger on exactly how I think the running game will do. I think it should be very successful, especially with the emergence of guys like Logan Diggs. But it's just a completely different running style than what Brigham Young University was bringing to.
Yeah, it's not to say you can't. I mean, this offensive line, these running backs, they know how to run a gap scheme run.
Yeah,
certainly Mike Denbrock knows how to draw one up. And so if you see something, and you know, you get there on Monday, the coaches have already broken down, gotten the game plan together on Sunday, and all of a sudden on Monday you're putting in a power. Or you're putting in whatever gap scheme run that you want to. I think this unit certainly could handle that. So
the Florida game 3 years ago, different staff, but never seen anything like it.
How many times it was like 14?
It's like
might have been more.
They went from just doing zone left, zone right to running just counter.
And set the school record for rushing yards in a game. And literally Florida was like, I'm tired of tackling number 3. Can y'all please get this game over with? So, yeah, that can be done. I'm still interested in how much Arkansas. So I looked it up while we were talking run game there. And in cover one, I think most of you would know that it's a defense that's man across the board with one single high safety. They've played that 45% of the time on defense. Because I went back and I added the first 2 games as well. 45% of the time they've played cover one.
They like McLaughlin and those DBs.
They do. I mean, otherwise you don't play that. Even if you're playing a opponent that you think there's no way they're going to have an advantage, still to play it 45% of the time, it's kind of who you are.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, right? And so I think that it's going to be tough for Arkansas to suddenly change that this week. And again, I think you're just kind of screwed anyway when I think this LSU offensive line should dominate for the second week in a row. All right, so feel very good about the LSU offense going against that Arkansas defense. When we get back, why don't we flip it? How do we feel that the LSU defense, which obviously has been the bigger question mark thus far this year, how will the LSU defense perform against this Arkansas Razorback team? If you want to get your takes in the chat, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. We're going to have Matt Flynn in later on. It's going to be a great Wednesday here on OTB. Let's all have ourselves a day, folks, and move one day closer to another weekend of football. More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
K2ZBlinds.com. KTOZ Blinds.com is the website. Take advantage of the free professional estimate that you can get for any window coverings, any custom jobs that you want at your home. They come out to your home for free, look at the situation, give you that estimate. Also, if you move ahead with the job, free installation, okay? And if it's a big job, you're like, man, I don't know if I want to pay all this chunk at once. Well, guess what? They will work with you to find financing options that take care of you and make it easy. Brandon Barnes has been in this game for 25 years. K to Z window coverage, K2ZBlinds.com.
Yeah, custom blinds, window shades, shutters, you name it, they can do it. They came out to my house and we were wanting something on the exterior, right? We wanted a shade to be able to go out there, watch football, sit with the kids, and they came out. Brandon came out, in fact, and it was like 4 minutes long. That's how fast it was for him to take all the measurements, show us all of our different options. Go to the website today, K2ZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm remembering what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
This Sunday as we bring you 3 NFL games, starting with our noon kickoff, the New England Patriots against the New York Jets. Immediately following that game, it's the Chicago Bears against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then our nightcap, the Steelers and the Raiders. Tune in here on 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Yeah, Jake, we were just talking right before we got in break. Like Jake said, playing cover 1 50% of the time is ballsy, and it maybe plays in LSU's hands as well, because LSU doesn't attack the middle of the field too much. I mean, maybe with Mason Taylor, who is probable this weekend, correct?
Taylor's our injury report correspondent, and I like having it.
I love that. I don't want to stay on
He
top
said
of
on
that.
Monday that he was.
I need Taylor to do the dirty work for us, and just figure out all the little details I don't care about.
Well, in case you're wondering how I figured this out, it's as easy as pulling out my step ladder over the fence, pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pretty easy. Anybody could do it.
That was that drone you had.
No, they took
Danny.
that.
Danny's the drone guy.
They took my drone.
Danny's the drone guy. Taylor's, they get the ladder.
I'm just
over
the ladder
fence.
guy, yeah.
Okay. Hey. Works the same way.
All right, let's flip. Let's flip the ball. Let's flip to the other side of the ball. And when Arkansas is on offense, Jake, I will say this. This film was one of the most mixed bag of films that I've ever seen in my entire life, in that they came out and they looked really solid early on. Like, my initial notes on the offensive line were, okay, offensive line looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Combined with KJ Jefferson, an effective RPO game, they should be able to put up some points. And I think they were really missing Rocket Sanders this last games. I don't know if those backs behind Rocket don't really feel dynamic at all. Jake, you could break down their reads better than I did, but to my kind of untrained eye, it looked like they were not doing their O-line any favors in terms of making the correct reads, being patient, where the hole was. But here's where it gets weird. Again, I really like the O-line early on. Their captain is the left guard, but they seemed to get weaker and weaker as the game get on. Like, the more I watch, I'm like, okay, BYU's D-line's actually, like, shedding them, right? So I want to see those violent hands from Mason Smith last week that he didn't have at the beginning of Grambling, that he got as the game went on a bit longer, and that and that I thought he had better last week as well. I know Mekhi Wingo's going to be able to have success in some of these matchups. And then by the end of the game, Jake, BYU was Arkansas led this game 31-21 halfway through the third. They ended up losing the game 38-31. They had a ton of short fields to work with. Arkansas did a ton of opportunity to put more points on the board. All they got was one field goal attempt, which they missed. And late in that game, Jake, BYU was just rushing for and consistently winning.
Yeah.
So there's enough there with the weakness that I've seen in LSU's defense, the strength of KJ Jefferson, and how good the offensive line looked when it was playing well, where, like, I'm still afraid of the LSU cover. I want to be painfully clear. I think LSU wins this game. No, like, full stop. I think they probably win it by double digits. What is it, though? Like 18.5, 19?
I saw it open at 18. Yeah.
There's maybe just enough offensively from Arkansas where I don't feel great about that number.
So for me, it's kind of the same in the coverage stats that we gave you. All right, let's flip the ball over. What about how they want to run the football? Are they really going to line up and run a version of zone out of their 30 runs 22 times? They might. That might, be what they do, because you look at it, they ran 8 outside zones, 14 inside zones. They only ran 1 power, 1 counter, and 2 pull leads.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the O coordinator now? I know they brought in
Dan
a good
Enos,
name.
right?
Yeah, they brought in Enos. Enos and the offense felt like they maybe weren't always on the same page or something. I don't know. I did not like the play calling.
But so for that, again, like, it is hard to kind of – did they think they just had the advantage because of who they were? Well, I mean, they got beat, so maybe they shouldn't have. And they played BYU a year ago, but they've been favorites in all 3 of their games. They won the first 2, lost this one. How much did they think they could just line up and do that? Because if you want to run out of 30 running plays, 22 be a version of zone, again, that plays into LSU's hands. I think that's the run fits that they had trouble with are not the zone schemes. They were some of the gap scheme stuff. And so, all right, if that's what you want to do, then individual matchups, you're saying that, Mekhi Wingo, Mason Smith, whoever it might be, that you feel like you can – Xavion Jones, who had another good game. So is that what we're going to see? It looks like that's who they are. Are you going to play cover 1 on defense and you're going to run zone on offense? If you are, that plays in LSU's hand.
Yeah, I agree that it does, and I think that so that's when they're running the ball, like you said. When LSU struggled this year is when Florida State was attacking them with angles and whatnot. One-on-one, I still like Smith, Wingo, Jordan Jefferson, and those guys, and Xavion Jones, who had a huge game last game. Linebacker-wise, I know Spates is probably. Who would you start at linebacker for LSU? You got Penn, you got Witt, Spates. West is still in there, but West is probably 4th in there. Am I missing anyone?
I mean, depending on what the health is of Omar Spates, we'll have to see. Because you could tell. I mean, you go back and you watch the Grambling game. I mean, he's hobbling out there. Yeah. You can tell he was just not right. I liked what Whit Weeks brought to the defense. I mean, he led the team with 8 tackles. He got the start on the road against Mississippi State, so who's to say he wouldn't get it if Omar Spates is not fully healthy? I would expect him to get the start again. There was a real electricity in his body, you could tell, right? I mean, he flew to the football. It looked like he was at a different speed than some of the other linebackers that have been in there so far this year. So if you get Omar Spades back healthy, I think as a healthy player, he can really help you. But I like rotating weeks in there. I thought Greg Penn had a nice game. And you and I were talking about it. Like, that was a Greg Penn game.
That was a Greg Penn game.
Like, what Mississippi State was trying to do, that was a game that was going to play into his strengths, and I thought he had a nice day. So
I would say this is kind of a Greg Penn game as well, no? I mean, does Arkansas threaten you? I mean, they're don't get me wrong, they're not the just run the ball attack that Mississippi State was trying to do. It's not that extreme, obviously, but I don't know that I see Greg Penn as being some like big weakness against this
you better
Arkansas
have somebody
team.
that's ready to tackle KJ Jefferson.
That is true.
Whoever that linebacker is, you need to get to know that quarterback because, I mean, he is going to be impactful in this one. He is, we know, 6'3", 250 pounds. You're not going to have to look hard for number one. I mean, he will be right there. And so which linebacker do you feel like gives you the best opportunity that if he runs the Q counters, if he runs the Q powers, whatever it might be, zone reads, that you can get him on the ground?
Yeah, Trent J. Rose says Enos is taking the KJ out of KJ. He's a shell of his former self, and I'm telling you, this O-line is trash. I mean, yeah, I guess that's probably right. I mean, KJ did look uncomfortable for the majority of this game, and a lot of times, Jake, when he was dropping back, he was holding on to the ball. His reads, they weren't working out. Like the opportunity to get some sacks will be there, whether you want to rush 3, spy Perkins, rush 4, spy Perkins, put Perk on the edge. If you can get interior push. Now, KJ is an experienced enough quarterback where if he feels pressure from the outside, he's not going to panic. Like last year, remember when he was out, the Arkansas quarterback, I can't remember who the backup was, but when he felt Perkins coming off the edge, he would start to run backwards, which is the last thing you want to do against Harold Perkins. KJ Jefferson is very cool and collected. He will step up in that pocket, meaning two things. First off, if you're Mason Smith or you're any of those interior guys, Mekhi Wingo, you get push up the middle, you might hook the homies up on the outside, but in the same token, you might get hooked up from KJ stepping up into you. So I'm really looking for this front four for LSU to set the tone this game.
All right, let me flip it to you. What would you do with Harold Perkins this game? We saw his role change from week 1 certainly to week 2. Week 2 to week 3 was even a little bit different. When you look at this matchup, knowing that KJ Jefferson is the one guy on that Arkansas offense that can probably scare you the most just because of what he's done in the past, what would your role with Perk be?
I mean, I love this kind of nickel Sam that they've started to work with him on. I feel like he's actually can be successful in coverage there as well, whether it's like in the flat or, we even saw him man up in the end zone last game. But this is probably a game where a lot of value could be had from spying him.
Yeah.
BYU had success when they would rush 3 and just keep a 4 spy hanging around the line. Nobody's better in the country at that probably than Harold Perkins. So I don't know. I don't really think it's that different, right? I mean, I think sometimes you can bring him off the edge and he will dominate these Arkansas tackles. And then, like I said, other times you rely on maybe Mason Smith, Savion Jones, or Braden Swinson and Mekhi Wingo to get that pressure and let him kind of sort it out. What would you do with him?
I mean, probably more the same. Now, I would probably start out with the idea that he's going to be a rusher and kind of play more the nickel Sam than the true spy until almost I have to. Until almost that they show me, Arkansas shows me that they'll go back to some of the things that KJ's done in the past.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't start off necessarily there, but you always know you have that in your back pocket as an adjustment.
And to be fair, I mean, there was maybe 1 or 2 plays made with KJ's legs this last game.
Mm-hmm.
It was not didn't they used to run him a ton in the past?
Oh, I mean, he was, like I said, I went back. He was Q counter, Q power, and getting the extra blocker. And now he took a lot of shots, and it was tough for him to stay healthy. So maybe that's why they went away from some of that. But in this game against BYU, he had 13 carries. Now, he only had 21 yards, take the sack yards away from the quarterback in college football, as we all know. But, I mean, he ran 13 times. And so they'll still do it, but not like not to the same
None of it was that effective.
scheme.
He had one
not
good
to the
one.
same. He had one run. You're right, 19-yarder, but not to the same scheme that they did before.
Yeah, I think now that we're talking this out, I'm like, man, maybe LSU does cover. The bottom line though is, after film review, Arkansas just a team with too many weaknesses that makes too many mistakes. I mean, you look at the offense, you're like, hey, how did you put up 31 halfway through the third and not score again? We're just talking too many mistakes. What bad teams do, negative plays, giving up sacks when you can't have him, pre-snap penalties, and like huge pre-snap penalties. A false start on a 4th and 1. BYU had the ball. Arkansas desperately needs to get it back. It's 3rd and 5. They jump off sides, automatic first, not automatic, but it translates into a first down. You're driving to win the game. You're down to like the 15. You get a holding, you get a false start. Next thing you know, you're back at the 50. It's you turn the ball over. I mean, on the last play of the game, BYU rushes 4. The left tackle gets smoked, and KJ Jefferson fumbles for like the 3rd time this game. So it's just they're not the best to begin with. The OC doesn't seem to be getting the most out of this offense. And again, Rocket Sanders probably changes some of that if he's available and healthy and playing like Rocket Sanders can. And you just make too many mistakes. So look, I think LSU very clearly wins this game. I think today on Wednesday, I'm staying away from the spread.
That's a big number. that is a big number, and I don't really care about that anyways. Like, you want to go out there, you want to continue off of what you did against Mississippi State. They have a very veteran player in KJ Jefferson that a lot of people before the season thought that he was undervalued, wasn't talked about enough. We have seen him go out there and win games, not single-handedly, but have a pretty big say into who won the game, and we'll see how they use him in this one. Defensively, they've got Dwight McGlothern, who we all know here at LSU is a very good corner. In fact, probably the best rusher for Arkansas is Landon Jackson, who also started his career at LSU.
He actually was pretty invisible until the fourth quarter.
He had 3.5 tackles for loss.
No, I was going to say fourth quarter, he started to pop off. He wasn't. There wasn't much there. And then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, 40. I see. I was like, I recognize him. Landon Jackson.
So, I mean, you know this team very well.
Yeah.
You should have success in a lot of spaces here. You got to handle your business. It's going to be a night crowd. It's going to be the best crowd, obviously, that you've had this year. It's almost going to be like a home opener for you. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Grambling, but that's just the case. And so you're going to have every advantage. Now you got to go out there and take full advantage of those advantages.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that's maybe giving me a bit of hesitance on the spread. I mean, you look at last year's game, Jake, in which clearly you should have won that game by a much wider margin. And clearly the biggest difference between last year and this year is the offense and Jaden Daniels and how well they're playing right now. But this does have a feeling of like Saints-Panthers, right? This is a divisional game, essentially. And these divisional games have a way of maybe being a bit closer than you would think that they should be on tape. But again, that said, I exit this film feeling very confident about your Tigers Saturday night in Death Valley. When we get back, let's discuss the awful Greg Brooks news that was put out there yesterday. More Off the Bench coming up after this.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, where you're going to find your next vehicle. Make it a Toyota, vehicle that will stand the test of time. And if you go to All-Star, you can get it new, or you can get a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get that excellent warranty coverage. That's like, you can kind of choose your level of warranty, right? So like you go in, your car's like, hey, it needs to be serviced. You go in, and sometimes you don't even open your wallet. It's a good feeling. Maybe you just want to rent. You're going on one of the road trips, one of these LSU games. Get cheaper per day rental price from lease sessions in the rental department. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, go to the website today looking to buy a new, lease, or rent a Toyota. If you go to the website, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you see it right there in the top of the website. Rent a Toyota. Click on that. Per day rental prices. The full fleet is available, so no matter what you need, something smaller, better on gas, something bigger for a trip, they've got you covered. Go to that website today, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Was a humid day barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Brian Kelly updates the prep for Arkansas. Russ Mitchell will join us, and we'll head to Green Bay to check in on the Packers. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That whatever it was, that he would be okay. And yesterday, the Brooks family released a statement saying Greg Jr. was diagnosed last week with a large brain tumor that required emergency surgery. Doctors successfully performed the procedure Friday to remove the mass, and we are awaiting biopsy results. We're grateful for the work and care of the medical staff helping Greg through these challenges, and for the concern and love poured out by so many in the Louisiana, Arkansas, and national sports communities. This means the world to us at this difficult time. Greg continues to fight, and we await further clarity on the extent of that battle. His incredible strength and character gives us confidence. We also know that he needs our support now more than ever. Please keep Greg and our family in your prayers. #pray43. This is, I don't know. It's like we're supposed to sit up here and talk about things, but the tragedy of this is obvious. I mean, it's a young man who doesn't have the irrational, awful fear of, this little thing that feels off with me ends up being something horrible. And that's exactly what this young man is doing when he's in the prime of his athletic career, the prime of his life, and now having to have brain surgery and battle for his life. And so obviously, all positive energy, love, prayers, sending that way any way we can help. Would love to try to do that. But man, it's just devastating. It's every parent, every child, it's everybody's biggest fear come to light.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you're right, like you maybe feel a little off and you're not sure what's going on, and then probably the last thing that you were expecting. And so, you know, one of those things where, and then not like days and weeks or months, it's like that moment, like your life changes because you go have an emergency surgery. And so obviously prayers and hope that everything's, you know, going to work itself out. And also like, you know, that you caught it at that moment. Cause then you start to worry like, man, what if would have been 2 weeks later or continue to play football, and who knows what that could have done to you. So just a scary situation all the way around. And when we heard this news yesterday, T, and didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, man, what's this emergency? Is it maybe another family member? Is it somebody else? Or he's got to help out? And honestly, this is like the last thing that you thought it was going to be. And
he's a young man.
Just brutal. I mean, it's brutal. And I'm not sure how they found it, but thankfully they found it now and
yes.
hopefully able to go in there, get it out, remove it, and then you can move forward with the recovery.
Yeah, I mean, here's to hoping that, you know, obviously we're all praying and yes, that in the end, this will all, you know, have a good ending, and it'll be so important that the medical staff did find it when they did and did take care of it. So credit to the medical professionals that, I guess, helped suss this out, because again, I don't even know how you expect something like that with somebody in the prime of his career at this age. And it's one of those things that perspective is a hard thing to maintain, Jake. Because when you get in the day-to-day grind of your life, it's very easy to lose sight of what matters, right? And this is one of those stories where you see this and then you're like, you know what? Like, why am I trying to just get through this thing? Why am I trying to put my kids down to sleep so fast? Like, why am I not slowing down and enjoying time with my mother or my father? Why am I not willing to go do this drive on the weekend, go see them, or do this thing to see them? Like, this is one of those stories that helps you kind of refresh your perspective and bring back that gratitude for the blessings that you do have. And it just kind of reminds you how everything can be taken away out of nowhere. I mean, one thing I feel really guilty about that we didn't do a good job on this show either, and it's because I think I kind of, honestly, like I said yesterday, missed it when we were watching that Grambling game live because it was later in the game. It was kind of checked out. But, like, Grambling State linebacker Jaquavius Richmond, who's still in Baton Rouge. I mean, he's in a neck brace. He had neck surgery, recovering from a spinal injury. Yesterday was his 20th birthday, man. 20th birthday. And he's on the news, and, you know, it's nice. He's smiling. He's moving around, but he's in a neck brace. He's had neck surgery at the Neuromedical Center, and it's just it's a dangerous game. And whatever the not that applies, Brooks, doesn't matter. I guess the overall point is, like I'm talking about, it's perspective, right? Yeah. It's that you never know when this can all be taken away, and so be thankful for all these moments. And obviously sending all the prayers to Jaquavius Richmond, his friends, his family, and here's to hoping that he, who also has a long fight in front of him, makes a full recovery as well.
Yeah, no, I'm well said. And same thing, like for that, like I missed that. Like I went to the game and at that point and I missed that. And that's that's a scary situation. And still be here. I mean, we're 2 weeks past that, and to have any kind of surgery on your neck, like it doesn't matter what it is, minor, major, it's going to be a long recovery. It's going to take a long time to get back. And so it was good to see the videos of him at least smiling and kind of moving around.
Yeah, seems in good spirits
a little bit.
So, yeah, you know, tell your family you love them. Like I said, let's all kind of, anytime there's such bad situations like this, obviously I think the kind of silver lining in it, or maybe this is just a way to kind of try to gain some solace out of something so awful. What I always think about is, okay, what kind of good is it going to create? And if you have people out there nowadays that are going to, you know, call maybe a family member they haven't called in a long time and tell them they love them, or be appreciative of something that they've maybe been taking for granted for a while, then I think that's a positive ripple effect out of this. I know I definitely felt that when we saw this news. And then obviously, look, man, everybody just pray for Greg. Just pray for Greg. And it doesn't matter. I don't care, you know, what you believe, who you pray to, whatever. If you pray to anything, just Send positive energy and love and thoughts and support his way. And again, if anybody knows the family or anything we can help out with, let's do that as well. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man, for sure. But Greg Brooks is a he's been huge. We talk about this Brian Kelly rebound, this rebuild all the time. And where are you without Greg Brooks? I mean, he won you multiple games last year. Him coming home to Louisiana and making himself into the player and the playmaker that he was a sight to behold. And here's to hoping he can get back to that one day, healthy and back to pursuing his dreams.
Look, it's it is, something that's somewhat out of your control, obviously, but like we said with Falsamoro, like if there's ever going to be someone that fights to do everything they possibly can and to not give up and to have that strength, Greg Brooks kind of fits that same mold.
I would agree. So, really sad, but we are all here, and everybody is, LSU, Arkansas, nationally, everybody, doesn't matter, everybody here in support of Greg Brooks. And like I said, Jaquavius Richmond, as well, as both of them, are on this road to recovery. There's no great way to do this. I'm about to have to read a commercial. That never feels good. Let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Once you go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, they're in Gonzales, Louisiana. This is a local steel company, okay? No middleman, no national BS, no million people in the middle of the food chain driving up all the prices. You want the best product at the best prices, any purlin, tubing, steel buildings, you want Community Steel. They have a live and local sales team. Jake will give you the number. You can call that number and get in touch with that sales team. Go see him in Gonzales, Louisiana. Look at the warehouse. Like I mentioned, the steel buildings, it's almost like model homes. They have the buildings built right there on the campus, right? So you can go kind of walk through it, touch and feel and decide if it's for you. But the bottom line, you're not just supporting local business, you're helping out yourself because you're getting the best product at the best price. Community Steel Company.
That number is 225-647-2020. And like T-Bob said, when you call that number, it's somebody here. It's somebody in the Baton Rouge area. It's not somebody in Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, wherever. They can help you because they are here and they're here for you. CommunitySteelCo.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong.
Haniger join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch with the original walk-ons of Burbank at Nicholson. Randy McKay, Wes Reynolds, and Scott Rabelais will all be with us. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is my song, and no one can take it away. It's been so long, but now you're here to stay. And I wonder if you know what it means to find your dreams come true.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Still feels a little odd doing a show in light after what we just talked about. Dane Bergeron giving a super chat saying it's another reminder of how fleeting life is, praying for a speedy recovery, the power of prayer. Right, Dane?
Yeah, that was really well said, T-Bob. You know, we all have personal problems. I've definitely had some recently. Y'all know about it. But stuff like that definitely puts it in perspective.
Yeah. Helps you maintain. It's hard. I mean, and look, it's natural. It's natural to forget perspective. I think it's impossible to walk around and just be like, fully in everything you're doing 24/7. But every now and then you do have to be reminded to kind of bring it back in and focus in on and being appreciative. Gratitude, same thing, whatever. It's the reason why I love going to church. It's just to sit there for an hour every Sunday and just feel like kind of gratitude for everything that you've been, that you got going on that you enjoy or is positive in your life. I don't know if I know how to close out this hour really. Like, I mean, we gave you our Arkansas film review. What, you got some? I don't, it's weird. I don't like, whatever. We're going to reset next hour. We'll have Flynn come in. Like during the break, we can kind of shift mentally. Right. It still feels a little weird shifting now.
I was going to say, like, a guy that, and I saw his name in the chat, and I had him on Weekend Winners and honestly just completely forgot. John Mechie made his NFL debut over the weekend, and he had leukemia, if you'll remember. And they found that, and he's battled his way back and had a torn ACL in 2021, and then, gets diagnosed with leukemia in July of 2022, and just continued to fight and find his way back on an NFL field. And that's always, like we're talking about with Foster Moreau, same thing. Like, I realize there's a lot of things that are out of your control, obviously, but when you have that fight, when you have the determination to continue to fight, like Greg Brooks has, like, that's one of the things that gives you hope as well.
Yeah, I agree. And you mentioned Foster for sure, and he would be chief among that number. As well. And look, and if you're Greg Brooks' teammates at this point, you got to be there for him in every way, and that you can be and support him. And then also, like we talk about perspective, this has got to make you just feel grateful for the opportunity to just go out there and play, right? Like they're, it's like a Wednesday padded practice, and you don't want to do it. You're tired, you're hurting. It's middle of season, whatever. Well, something like this reminds you that, oh wait, no, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. I get to be out here and play this game that I love, and it can be taken away at any moment. And so I'm going to appreciate that, and I'm going to do everything that I can. And if I was this team, I'd rally around Greg Brooks, because certainly that's what he would want for sure. So that'll be it for hour one. Again, I apologize when we get to hour two. We are going to adjust. It's going to be flestering. It's going to be off the wall. Maybe we get Matt to talk football. Maybe we don't. We'll get back to having some fun this morning because that's also important in these times. So get ready for hour two next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Look, you go into Rejuve Me. It's your anti-aging clinic, and it's, I talk about it all the time, andropause, menopause, facial aging, mood and memory problems, energy problems, insomnia, weight gain that is, you're working out. Where's it coming from? You can address all this at Rejuve Me. And you get that free consultation. And in this consultation, they've actually discovered, when they draw your labs to see where your body's deficient and what it needs, they've actually discovered some health issues which have actually led to people's lives being saved. So it never hurts just to get checked out, I guess is what I'm saying. And then let Rejuve Me customize a plan to get you where you want to be at RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yeah, go to that website, top right corner, click on request a consultation. Because maybe you got something going on and you just don't know. And there's a long list of things that it could be, but they can get to the bottom of it over at Rejuve Me, but they can't until you get that consultation set up at RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP or 2.9% for 72 months on all new 23 Ram 1500 trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front to back boat service.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, And there's a luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infinity Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Wednesday, September 20th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 94. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn is here for a full hour of flestering, and we talk Saints with Nick Underhill at 9 a.m. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Almost all those headphones, Matt, only one ear works.
Yeah.
Or maybe none work, so good luck. Probably throw out the ones that only one ear work on, but, I don't know. I'm not going to be the one to do it, because then everybody's going to be like, throw all the headphones away.
You know what we should do?
Taylor, you should do it.
I'll do it. The only problem is if we throw away the ones with only one ear, like we wouldn't have any.
Yeah,
so, that's all of them. I mean, that's like 90% of them. Like we wouldn't have any. I'll do it though.
Can we go to Amazon and just put 10 in the cart and press order?
We should do like 10 Sony Pros. The Sony Pros, that's what I got on. That's what he's got on. They're durable. They don't break. They're comfortable.
I bought these. These
like
are my
American Airlines gives these away for free.
Yes.
Those,
yeah.
Those are not the best.
It does not matter. Like a headphone that comes from Amazon Basic is going to be better than one that doesn't work.
I'm thinking I'm going to need, I'm thinking I'm about to go pods though, dude. I'm sick of my hair always, I don't know. I want to let this lettuce fly a little bit. Hey, so this is a flestering hour. So we are going to probably talk a little football, maybe talk a little jeans.
Jeans like blue jeans?
Like blue jeans.
DNA? Okay.
I've not bought a pair of blue jeans. I realized I'm sitting down yesterday, I'm looking at my boots, and I'm like, you know what, man? Boots look pretty good with some jeans. I haven't bought a pair of jeans in, and this is not exaggeration, over a decade.
I don't know if I've worn a pair of jeans.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like it's probably
I have an old
2011.
pair of jeans that when I do some yard work or something, throw those bad boys on.
Yeah.
Gotta bust out the chainsaw.
Some Air Monarchs as
I
well.
was about to say, you better jeans that for yard work in Louisiana sounds awful.
Well, I mean, I have a pretty hard rule that I don't do yard work in the summer.
Okay.
So like
smart,
my yard
smart.
work season is about to start.
So when the grass is growing, no yard.
No,
so
and
you
Lacey
do
gets
stolen
it.
valor yard work in the winter when no grass is growing. You're like, don't worry, I got the lawn, guys.
I got this.
Don't worry, I got the lawn. No worries.
Yeah, well, Lacey knows that it's like once summer comes, if there's a tree down or there's something happening in our yard, it's going to be
You do have a lot of yard.
October.
It's going to be a while.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
You got a lot of yard going on.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I used to love cutting my grass, and then I'll be damned if I didn't finally break that seal and pay someone to do it. And I don't ever want to cut my grass again. I need to just get rid of my lawnmower. Like that's how little I ever want to cut my grass again. It's such a waste of time. It was cool, maybe like pre-kids, get a little workout in or anything. Not anymore. Very much worth it. But no, I guess what I'm saying is I haven't bought jeans in over a decade, and I feel like it's probably been, with like Instagram and everything else, I feel like it's probably been like a pretty big decade for jean evolution, right? Like if you were to look at jeans from like Gold Rush 1850s to 2010, I don't know how much growth there is there. I feel like it's probably exploded over the last 10 years.
No, I think from 2000 to 2010 was the biggest jean boom.
I agree. Oh yeah, I agree.
mean,
that was the jean boom.
Yeah, I mean,
feel
you
like
went
yours
from
was,
like boot cut
different
to
styles.
skinnies to oversized
God, I
and
used to
back,
love some
and I
skinny
mean
jeans.
everything.
Yeah, you would you'd get some that were made to hold your like wallet with a chain. I'm sure you had a few of those
No, I
at
should
Shreveport Evangel.
I definitely had the carpenter.
The carpenter
Carpenter belt loop,
for your
sure.
boot or for your
in case
hammer,
you ever
right?
needed a hammer.
Yep.
Or if you had over here, you needed a ruler or something,
Yep.
tape measure.
And
or
I think
some
it
sort
was
over here.
in that decade when people started like bedazzling them.
Somewhere,
the rhinestones.
somewhere mid 2000s, like
The
that
buckle?
whole like Ed Hardy,
Yeah.
True Religion, like
That was
aggressively
like the
rhinestone
big-
jeans
that was
started to
a
pop
big-
off. Yes, yeah.
So and I think in the early you still were getting some Jinko action.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was
Yeah.
like from early Jinkos in that
Yeah.
decade
Right.
to the True
Like,
Religion.
do you
at
even
the end.
hacky sack?
But since then, I feel like blue jean stock is really tanked.
I think it's called
in the
denim
last 10.
stock.
I don't
Denim
know.
stock?
Has it though? I feel like, well, I guess somewhere along the line, I feel like now jeans are all like stretch. Or whatever. The point is, if anybody has any jean recommendations, I'm open for business.
We got
If
some.
you're out there and you're a business and you want me to wear your jeans for free, I'm also open for
shout out to
business.
Blue Delta Jeans. They sponsor pregame.
Don't they
SEC.
sponsor? So that's what somebody responded yesterday. Patrick Shuck was like, I'm pretty sure as an SEC podcaster that you're legally required to do Blue Delta.
Yeah.
I feel like they're on all the sports shows.
Yeah,
I know,
actually had
Mincy
I had
pushes
Nick
them.
from Blue
It's
Delta
a tough business to
come
be in.
into the studio while I was doing the show because he's like, "Hey, we'll come in, we'll fit you." I go, "Well, just come on air," and he actually did it on air. So
Did he have jeans on?
He did.
Nice.
I want to do
Only person in Baton Rouge?
what was it? I want to do. I want a comedic pair of Jinkos, but I can't wear Jinkos every day. Obviously, Jinkos for comedy
Isn't it funny
purposes
that
are great.
people wore those not comedically?
Well, isn't it funny too that I desperately wanted them when I was younger and my parents
Sure.
would not allow me
It's good
to?
for them.
I mean, I used to wear black cargo denim shorts from Pacific Sunwear with Chinese lettering on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Pacific
firmly in that Jinkos
Did you
Venn
get those
diagram.
from the Buckle?
No, from PacSun. From
PacSun?
PacSun.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a store.
Yeah.
Oh,
You remember
that's right.
PacSun?
See, I didn't spend a lot of time I
Probably
wasn't
they
at the
probably didn't have
mall
one
as
in
much
Tyler.
as the Evangel folks were.
The
Is that where y'all went on the weekends? Y'all just like drop me off at the mall at 10
South Park
a.m.,
Mall.
pick me up when the sun goes down.
I mean, who didn't love
Got to hit the
that
kiosks
mall,
up.
dude?
Yeah, you didn't hang out at the mall. Did y'all
No.
have one in
Tyler
Tyler?
texted
We
you
had,
to
oh
have
yeah,
them all?
Broadway Square Mall, buddy.
Okay.
Didn't
I
know
would
if it
say
was big
this.
enough. I don't know.
Even though I did hang out at the mall, I do feel like I wish I could enter a time travel machine for a day and go to like full Mallrats era mall, or like be like a high schooler in Mallrats era malls. That was just a little ahead of my time because that seemed like the golden age of malls.
Yeah, when I was like 11, 12, that's probably when I hung out at the mall the most, but I would have liked to have been like 15, 16.
Yeah, or you're getting into some shenanigans.
Even 13 feels a little bit better.
Getting into some
I mean, I
shenanigans.
feel like
Aladdin's Castle there, the little arcade.
so what decade did malls peak? Are you saying 80s?
I'm saying
I would say 90s.
I would say
I'd
early
say
90s is what
yeah.
I'm looking for. The Mallrats, like I said, Kevin Smith, all that crew.
And I would say like the
Although 80s malls seem cool as hell too.
What-
A lot of bright colors, teased hair, shoulder pads,
Arcades
like
for
synth,
days.
arcades, energy,
Yep.
vibes, probably like a carousel or what do you call it?
Yep.
You know, was something in there.
do you remember the
Maybe
lines?
some sort of mall show.
So I know you, Hester, but you probably know about it, T-Bob, but you were probably too young. The Nintendo 64 GoldenEye release of GoldenEye, the game.
Yeah.
Do you remember the lines and the setup? So I remember, I think my mom, they had put it on the waiting list to get it and for Christmas for me.
Right.
And they had to have, there was policemen stationed there, and they had to be escorted out to their car with the game.
Yeah.
But that's where you went. You went to the mall for all that stuff.
Yep.
Now I think people are a little bit leery of maybe the jacked up retail prices when they can just get it online.
Yeah, for sure.
It's tough, but a lot of people still
Matt
go.
Flynn.
Sorry, guys.
Business owner who hates brick and mortar. Unbelievable, dude.
Well, he doesn't have a brick and mortar, so why would he like it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Unbelievable.
He's all online, so drinkmyhigh.com.
Yeah,
well, I
take
mean,
it.
you can go to the store, but he
Now,
doesn't have
hold
his
on,
own
though,
brick
dude.
and
The
mortar.
prices are not significantly better on Amazon than they are in store, though.
Have you ever been to Dick's?
Sporting goods?
It's expensive. You haven't. You're not in that part of your life yet where you got to buy the kids' cleats and everything.
And I don't go to Dick's. I go to Red Six Sports because I support local.
Yeah, no,
brick and
their
mortar.
prices are way better. Seriously.
Okay. So, and then it does kind of make me sad, though. I miss that idea of the super hot Christmas toy that is, so desperately wanted that you go to the mall and you get a parking spot that's 2 miles away and and you have to be concerned a little bit walking out that it might get stolen from you. That reminds me, of
the good old days.
Gives me
I'm sure our parents loved it. I'm sure the Flynn's loved going to the Tyler Mall and getting escorted to their car by a policeman because they had GoldenEye in their car.
Little brat of a kid who wants a GoldenEye.
I'm not gonna lie though, I have a special place in my heart for going to the mall on December 23rd or December 24th.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the best. The vibes are immaculate.
Go to Dillard's, buy some perfume for your mom.
Everybody's in a good mood. Yeah, no, go to Bed Bath & Beyond, get her a little lotion kit.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what else to get your mom because you're an awful son.
That little wicker basket that has like the bubble bath, the lotion.
Every year.
Didn't it shut down?
The equivalent of a fruit
Bed
basket.
Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it probably should
Bath
have.
and Body Works, is that what it's called?
Might be.
Bed Bath & Beyond, Bed Bath & Body
Yeah,
Works.
you are talking about
Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
good
thinking
catch,
of.
Mario. Good catch.
But yeah, so it's I still do love going to the mall around Christmas, and this is one time where it kind of feels like a mall again because it normally is still pretty full. You know what I'm saying? And so it's got those kind of nostalgic vibes to it, a bit.
What are there some still like staple stores that have been there for only malls, exclusively malls for 30 years, 40 years?
I mean, I'm sure some malls still have like KB Toys still in them.
No,
I never saw freestanding KB
lids,
Toys.
hats.
Lids. would
That's in
definitely
every
be
Probably
right?
Journey shoes.
Journeys.
I've never seen one
Staple.
outside of a mall.
Never
Staple.
seen a freestanding Journey.
I mean, Gadzooks, Spencer's.
Spencer's. Never seen a freestanding Spencer's.
Yeah.
Is that the one that has like the kind of the off-color
Yeah,
shirts?
it's like
Yeah,
Calvin
spicy
Hobbes
a
where
little
Calvin's
bit.
like peeing on stuff.
Yeah.
That little sticker. That's like Spencer's entire vibe.
Ooh, Claire's Boutique. They still got those.
Magnetic earrings.
Magnetic earrings. They had inflatable furniture.
I mean, Shreveport Evangel, we just got real earrings.
A hot topic is
Yeah, no
definitely. Hootie says there's cookie stores.
Those teachers are licensed to Pierce.
I mean, there's definitely no way this is a food court thing, but there's no way there's a freestanding Auntie Anne's, right? That is airports and malls specifically.
Or Sbarro.
Oh, Sbarro slapped.
Oh, I think there are freestanding Sbarros.
Are there?
Where?
Remember in The Office?
There's one
Michael
in,
Scott goes to
I
one.
watch you.
I know there's one in
yeah.
New York, just outside Times Square.
I was going to say, because The Office, Michael Scott goes there. He's like, every time I come to New York, I go to my favorite pizza place. And they zoom
That's
out
right.
into Sbarro's right on the side of Times Square.
You remember how
That's a
blown
good
away,
joke, dude. That's still a great joke.
as a kid, how blown away you were to the size of those pizza slices. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I don't know. I if I'm at the mall, it's Chinese. There's just nothing else.
Well, you can walk by and get the free samples.
Well, I get a
toothpick.
free sample and then I get some.
When we were in college, like the scholarship check would hit, and Katie and I were like, Chinese in the mall.
Chinese in the mall.
Like,
Not the Great Wall?
Bro,
Let's go.
It's the best. It's mall Chinese.
Like
is the
it
best
was
Chinese.
it was fine dining
Yeah.
for us. I
You
mean,
can
we were
just-
balling on a budget.
Yeah, you go up to the window and like you look like real curious, like, oh man, what do those taste like? And they just give you samples.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, they pack those styrofoam things full.
Yeah.
I mean,
Trying to get
bursting
rid of
for a
it.
little fat kid.
Expiration
like,
dates are coming, but
there ain't no light servings there. That's the most American
I
of
don't
all
care.
servings. Chinese mall servings. The absolute best. And Chinese food, I've always felt, and really, it's more like American Chinese food, but I've always felt that it operates on a inverse scale from most foods, where generally the cheaper, almost the better, right? Like I don't never crave upscale Chinese.
No.
Like I've never really been a PF Chang's guy personally, right? Like I want that down and dirty Chinese.
Don't you love PF Chang's?
Great Wall of College is great.
I do.
I knew somebody
I would
in here
still
has
support
mentioned it
Chinese.
before.
Chinese at Nicholson is
Well, like,
my
I-
favorite Chinese
I
restaurant.
get interchange PF Chang's and Nine Dragon. Easy.
But
I'm okay with all of it.
Okay, but they are operating on different. I mean, Nine Dragon.
That's what he's saying, though. I think
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I can go with the good stuff.
Yes, for sure.
I
But it's
don't.
100% in the mall.
I'll tell you
Chinese
what changes. I think maybe it's when you hit 30, maybe it's when you hit 35. What changes is your love for buffets. I feel like.
It's hard to do a buffet and keep any shred of self-worth.
Yeah, like I don't do like that was my thing. If it wasn't a buffet, don't take me.
Yeah. Like,
but I don't enjoy them anymore. I don't know.
It's just because, like, I don't know. I always think about, like, all the jokes you
And
always
it's
heard as a
sad.
kid where it's like, this milkshake goes straight to my thighs. At a certain point, I don't know if it's body dysmorphia, but you get old enough where you feel like all that stuff you just ate is literally just made you fatter.
You're not trying to win
immediately
anymore. Like when you go, it was a competition.
Yeah,
like,
how
am
many
I going to
slices
win?
of pizza can I eat here at Mr.
Yes.
Gaddy's?
Like I paid $20 for this buffet.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat at least 60.
We used to go to Johnny's Pizza Buffet Sundays after the games and just like you're talking about, how much can you get down? Go to Great Wall, how much you get? Wednesday, remember we used to go get all the Hooters used to have all you could eat wings on Wednesday for $20 and beers, and then we shut that down.
What was the dollar burger place on Burbank?
Brightside Bar and Grill?
Right.
No, on Burbank, like
Lakeside.
Lakeside. They had
Yeah.
dollar burgers on Wednesdays. Peter Diakowski, when I say they had to like come
Saved
and
his
tell him,
dollars.
"Hey, stop." Like really, no. He would save his dollars for $1 burger Wednesday,
Peter-
and they had
Peter
to come
could
out one
find a
time. They're
deal.
like, "Hey, like you got to stop."
Well, Canadian dollars are also worth more than American dollars, so he probably got like 2 burgers.
Hey, shout out
every
Peter.
one.
Peter's coming down, coming in town for the game, for the Florida game.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
hey,
hello.
guys.
Oh,
hey,
oh,
Peter. Hey,
hello.
Hey, guys.
What about?
We used to go to Sicily's. Remember Sicily's?
Sicily's out there on Segan?
So you could go on Segan, RIP, I guess, but like you could go there on the afternoons on steak night.
Yep.
And you could pay for the lunch buffet.
Yeah.
Then they had a little bit of an arcade. You just stay all day until they rolled out the steaks at night.
Yeah. And you didn't pay the steak price.
No, didn't pay the steak price. Got
Even
lunch
though-
and dinner.
I don't know how much steak it was, but
Is it an old buffet?
yes,
That's some good buffet technique there, boys.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. That is really good buffet manipulation.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud
Yeah,
of
go
you
about
guys.
2 or 2:30, and the steaks rolled out at 5.
Oh my God! Is it true or
don't
false
know.
that Garrett Weibel once ate 100 fire in the whole wings in between practices?
I don't know if it was in between practices, but he definitely
the
did.
story that he definitely did eat 100 fire in the whole wings.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And he also
First
ate.
off, and I ate like 40 wings recently, and that was insane.
I can't remember the monetary amount, but at this time, all food, especially McDonald's, was a lot cheaper price point.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it was a challenge to either eat $50 or $100 worth of McDonald's.
Yeah.
He did it.
He did it.
What happens to your stomach at that point? I don't mean expansive. I mean the gastrointestinal things in your stomach. Like, what does your body do when it's trying to process and digest $100 worth of early 2000s McDonald's?
Mario, could you do it?
It feels like a fight.
Now it's a little bit more
How many
expensive.
burgers? How many McDonald's like single patty cheeseburgers could you eat?
Oh,
In
maybe
one
like,
sitting?
Yeah.
Not as many as like 10 years ago. Maybe like 7 or 8. The most impressive thing.
Single patty Mickey D's, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could get at least 8.
That's one of those things where I can't even be asked that because I feel like I could eat them just for eternity.
It's one of those
Like,
things
I
where it's
feel
like
I could just keep going.
You're
T-Bob,
like the
it's like when
character
you
on Popeye?
eat the
Yeah,
I
just
I
keep
could
throwing the
keep
burgers
going,
back.
Yeah.
It's like when you eat the finger sandwiches and
Yes.
you've eaten like
Yes.
20,
Yeah.
and you're like, I just ate 5 sandwiches, but if I lined them up like 5 next to each other, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It's
God,
the same
those
thing.
delicious. I mean, I love a finger sandwich, but the ultimate form are those sliders, the little onion glaze over the top and the Hawaiian buns. You throw them in the. Oh my God.
I'll go to CC's and crush some sauceless cheese pizza. I ate like 18 of those one time.
That's just cheese bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure.
Before we
And that was
take
just a funny way of saying it. Sauceless cheese pizza.
Yes. Delicious.
before we take this break, my mom, who's listening to the show, shout out Nancy,
Shout out
said, "We know that Tyler Mall well. That's where we had to go to get your wide Keds growing up because my feet were so wide."
Wow.
And I
You
guess
had the Pete Carroll shoes?
and I guess that Tyler Mall had wide Keds, and so we had to
How
drive
close
the
is
hour and a
Tyler-
half.
Okay,
An hour and a
oh,
half.
that's it? Okay. I didn't
Hour and a
realize
half
that.
from Shreveport that we had to drive to go get the Keds, the
Oh,
all white
shocker.
Keds.
Something in Tyler was better than Shreveport. Shocker.
I have no argument for that because y'all had the wide feet shoes and Shreveport didn't.
No big deal.
Gulf South says, T-Bob, you didn't even finish a single slice of pizza. We have no faith in your eating skills. LOL, bro.
Yeah.
That pizza
Nah,
was
bro.
massive and cold, and
Is that the Fat Boys one?
it was
Wasn't
awful.
it like 2
And it's
feet?
not on Fat Boys. Fat Boys has good pizza.
No, but wasn't it like 2 feet?
Yeah, it was 2
Yeah, that's
feet.
not a normal
Hey.
slice of pizza.
And it was cold, and so it had congealed. Like, it was like not.
It was
not
like
ideal.
almost hardened
So
at that
I-
point.
I
Even
had-
Joey Chestnut lost that day.
Yeah.
Okay?
He did, but he finished one. So a kid on my team, shout out Garrett, he knows T-Bob, knows him well, has been around him and listens to him on the radio. And he made it a point to go over and watch T-Bob in the eating contest. And the disappointment in Garrett when he came back to talk to me about T-Bob not finishing at least one slice, it hurt him.
And I was faking it by the end. I was just picking it up and acting like I was chewing, and I wasn't chewing anything.
I bet that looked real.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, cool.
People were probably like, how is this guy's pizza still left? He's been chewing for an hour.
Bruh, okay, whatever. I'd love to see. You know what? Why don't
No, I mean, I probably couldn't do it either.
Why don't we do a little, y'all can all try it. Why don't we work that out with Fat Boys? We can hit them up, and y'all can all try to eat one of those mega slices.
I probably couldn't do it.
They're right
2
there.
minutes or whatever.
They're right there. Bring them over.
Cauliflower crust.
Marty's like, hell yeah. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I may not be an all-star at eating pizza, but I am an all-star in my Toyota Sienna minivan. So I bought it from All-Star Toyota and my Camry, which lease is almost up. But look, whether you're looking at my new, used, rent, lease, whatever, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge is your answer. Why? The best people, the best product, the best selection, the best prices. You can actually go to the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, and start to check out what they can offer you, man. You can see what they have on site, what they can. You can actually custom order right there from the website with All-Star Toyota Express. But again, to me, it's the community, it's the people, the customer service that you get from All-Star that makes me want to keep going back. I don't have to. I choose to. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
When you go to the website, you can rent a Toyota. We tell you about it, but go click on it. It's right there at the top of the website, Rent a Toyota. Click on that banner. Then you go reserve your car. Remember, per day rental prices. So they have everything available. Everything is a different price. Check those prices out, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Voisin, inviting you to join me, along with the coaches Todd Black and Jimmy Roy, for the next edition of Louisiana Prep Weekly. Our special guest will be Port Allen head football coach Don Gibson. Live from Walk-Ons in Town Center, it's Louisiana Prep Weekly, Wednesday night at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Somebody else on the show, I gotta catch my breath.
You gotta what? Catch your breath? Oh, yeah.
I did my push-ups a little late.
Yeah, you did. That was a late push-up.
many
Matt
you
did
got?
air squats. That's aggressive.
I did air squats.
Good for you. He's a big squat guy, though.
Big squat guy.
Big squat.
Yeah, squatting on this.
His muscles aren't going to build themselves.
While you were doing the air squats, there was a commercial playing for Coach Moffitt's podcast, and I got like chills, like watching you squat, hearing that voice. It's just like, oh man, take me back to 2004 in the old weight room. First day, I'm about to throw up from just working out.
It's
just
so-
working out, and then I'm like, okay, I made it to the end. We're done. We're done with the workout. And then he's like, all right, on the field. I'm like, we're running too?
Yeah. Wasn't that always the worst, having to go do conditioning after like max squats?
Yes. Yeah. Shout out Coach
Yeah,
Moffitt, though. We
dude,
love
I
him.
remember my first.
We were
first
callous
ever
and
day.
hardened, baby.
First ever day at LSU, they made the freshmen heavy squat, bench, and clean.
Yep.
7 a.m. Then we had to go to class and everything else. Then we had to come back at 4 p.m. to run. Let that body get nice and tight, sore. Let it heat up, steam up. Let that afternoon shower come in and just crank the humidity up and get your ass out there and go run 26 110s.
Matt and I had the 110 test in just every single Monday down
I remember.
to an exact science.
I remember because you all used to run it at 4
We,
o'clock 'cause
we
you're
wouldn't run
lazy.
them. We wouldn't run them without each other.
It was a little conditioning, but like 70% skill.
They would be like dapping each other up like in between runs and stuff. It was so annoying.
We always
I'm
would
out here fighting for my life.
We would also
you know what else
rotate
the
the
problem?
count.
No. This is BS. Coach Moffitt, okay? It's complete crap that these two had 17 seconds and we got 18 seconds.
A full second.
What kind of sense does that make? What? We weighed over 100 pounds more than them. And yet we only get one more second?
Like
Miss me with that
2:30.
BS. Yeah, so y'all are like, 70%
Do you know how
skill.
long a second is, though?
Whatever.
Like
I
in
wanna
a
hear
40,
it.
you know the difference between a 4.5 and a 5.5?
Yeah, 100 pounds. You know how big 100
Bruh,
pounds
I
is?
was 230. You were not 330.
100 pounds. It's basically 80 is 100. Okay? It rounds up.
So when
I'm sorry. This makes me mad that
It does.
mid-scale. You should have 16
Hey,
seconds.
the best part about it, I ran mid-skill for 2 years as the starting running back.
Yeah. That's stolen valor. That's wrong, too.
And nobody ever corrected it. We would go, be like, Matt, you got the time or do I? We would rotate who had the count because we would go through we're at this point, all right, break it down, slow it down, this percentage, and then we'd finish.
Yeah, so you'd go like, what do we went 80 or 90% to like the 40-yard line, then down to like 60, 70% for like 30 more yards, and then we just coast and barely creep through the finish line.
Wait, so you got to do mid skill because like fullback.
So I could have started as a fullback.
Dude, I did it in high school. I was quarterback and safety, but because I played quarterback, I ran with the mid skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Look,
but
I mean, I was
cheat
just doing what the
code.
coaches told me. They never told
Cheat
me to run
code,
with
yeah.
the skill.
But there that's the thing, though. There was no slowing down to 40% for me. Like, if I slow down to 40, I'm going to miss my times even worse, and I was already missing them.
Very true.
Yeah. I don't think I ever missed a single time.
It's so
Did you?
funny.
Were you in 04? Did we do the 40s test conditioning?
40-40s?
They brought
No, the
10
40s where we ran 10, and
it was
then
10
it was
40s.
times whatever your time was. You had to be within a certain time of it.
Yeah.
And Joe Adai laughed at me because I ran my 40s. He goes, no, you can't run that full speed.
Yeah.
Because now you got to run all these 10 at this speed.
So they would, at the beginning of the summer, they would time us in the 40. So you ran a 4.7, 4.5, whatever you did.
Yeah.
And then, but your conditioning test was you had to run 10 40s, and I think there was 15 seconds rest in between each.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was either 10, 15, or 20. And so it's basically just enough time to get back to the line, put your hand down, and go. And then there was a percentage. Like your first two had to be within like 95 percentile of your top speed.
Yeah.
And then your last couple had to be like, you had to be 60 or 70% of your top speed, something like that. We would do I think it was the 110 test at 6 a.m. on conditioning day. And then we would do the 40s test at 4 p.m. That was like the end of summer conditioning.
Wow.
Are you ready to go to training camp?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was, I only remember doing that 1 year, I think. I don't know if you did that one.
It's so funny.
I think so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
It was a Saban deal.
Yeah, I had 1 year with Saban.
Yeah, it was
you
Saban
had
deal.
two.
It's so funny how reactive football can make you. We're like, after week 1 this year, I was like so out on Jake Flint. Like, bring back Tommy Moffitt. This team sucks. And I'm like, okay, this team's actually pretty good. Flint's doing a good job. Yeah. I think they're going to win again big this weekend. I was ready to fire everyone after game 1.
Jake's great. So Jake lives a couple of houses down from me, man. Just a great dude and great strength coach. And I was in there watching them not that long ago get after a little bit. Just because you got the science of it don't mean you ain't getting after it.
Yeah. You want to talk to me about, outputting kilograms? How about you just go run 41 tens, okay? That's my strength conditioning.
Push enough weight toward the bar bends.
Champ says Tom
There's a
Moffitt's the
metric.
reason LSU fell so low. That's the dumbest damn thing you've ever said, Champ, and that's impressive because you said some incredibly stupid things in this chat before. Tommy Moffitt is the reason why LSU was great for over 20 years.
Wait, what'd they say about Moffitt?
He said it's why LSU fell so low, but he also knows it's going to trigger us.
He does.
That's a good point.
But it does trigger me because that man is the X factor behind all the success. Why were you putting guys in the league? Why were you winning natties? Man won natties everywhere he was.
Let me tell you something. If I was going to battle, and said, hey, in your life, of all the coaches you've had, you can bring one guy with you, Moffitt's the guy.
Hell yeah.
Moffitt.
Right?
Foxhole guy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Kind of like me
Foxhole
in that
guy.
way,
Well, no, the complete opposite of you.
Moffitt.
Complete opposite of you.
Flynn.
I mean,
is how I'd rank him.
you're more like Derek Dooley, Foxhole, not Tommy Moffitt.
Ooh. Not a foxhole guy.
That's not a foxhole guy thing to say. So you just dinged your own foxhole, my friend. All right, when we get back, maybe we'll actually talk some football. Let's see it. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Nowhere.
Or if like Home Improvement, when it was Al and it was a Christmas episode, it was no Al. Yeah, Home Improvement.
Why Al was Al?
Yeah, Al Borland. Tim
I'm saying what he wasn't on the show
Al,
I don't know. Was Al not on the show that day? Is that why they were singing No Al?
No, he just messed up.
Oh, okay. Like he was saying
But
no.
Noel Distillery never messes up.
They never do. I love tequila. And Noel Family Distillery has made their own custom Louisiana tequila. That's right. I told you about the story. Natalie Noel went down to Mexico. She studied the agave plant. She created a unique mixture of highland and lowland agave with some notes that specifically invoke the feeling of Louisiana. And now Noel Family Distillery has LSU Athletics official tequila. They're over there in Dowsville, Louisiana. I think I'm going to go see the distillery tomorrow. I'm planning on it. Cannot wait. I love that tequila. You will too. Noel Family Distillery. Go buy the tequila today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Go Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. JD Pickell of On3 Sports talking college football. It's a What If Wednesday and those SEC football power rankings. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Do y'all ever eat Crustables? Uncrustables, excuse me.
Absolutely. Used to, like when I was covering games and you don't really have time, an Uncrustable in the backpack. That's just a little, it's got a little warmness to it because it's been sitting in the backpack. Yeah, that's when it's
See, I was going to say, I feel like generally most people like them cold, and I was going to ask the question.
I like my PB&J's toasted, though. So
okay, so maybe we had a third option here because I wanted to ask, do you like your Uncrustables frozen or chilled? But I guess we could say, or maybe even warm.
Yeah.
Because I think most people answer this chilled.
I don't touch the stuff.
You never had an Uncrustable?
Like
I
didn't even really know what an Uncrustable was.
You hadn't been with Huck like at a soccer game and like they're passing them out at the end of the game like, hey, do you have one for coach?
I've never been a guy that's been like, peanut butter and jelly.
I had an Uncrustable like a couple months ago.
It's like a salty, sweet combination. It's incredible.
Peanut butter and jelly is a staple of life.
I think it's kind of trash.
I kind of agree. I'm not a huge PB&J.
It's kind of trash.
Any food take that you agree with that human being over there is the wrong food take.
Sus take.
Very.
For sure.
And I ripped the crust off my Big Macs.
That's the weirdest thing ever that Mario does, and I give him crap about this all the time.
But it's only the middle. It's only the middle.
He rips the crust off the middle bun, and I agree. The middle bun is weird because it's too much bread. But Mario thinks it's just the crust.
The outside
just
part?
Just the outside ring,
It's
like it's a piece of bologna.
It's too much if you leave the crust. If you take it off, it's the perfect ratio.
I love your passion in this take because you are sincere about it, and it's an insane take.
It's a lot lower carbs, though.
Thank you.
Not a lot lower carbs at all. It's marginally lower. And you're taking away the one piece of bread that has any nutritional value whatsoever. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's good for you anyway.
Nutritional value.
I would say this.
Yeah, PB&J is trash.
A chilled Uncrustable is great. The first time you try a frozen one, you're not going to like it, but it's going to grow on you. And I can't figure out which I would prefer.
See, I've had the frozen like once. I had an Uncrustable a couple of months ago. I eat them like, I guess, more regularly than a man my age should.
Without children.
Okay, that's okay. A lot of people like Uncrustables. Live
I
your
think they're
truth,
good.
dude. Yeah, they're
so,
great.
When I was younger, like 4th, 5th grade, they had grilled cheese Uncrustables. They don't have them anymore.
Grilled cheese
That sounds
Uncrustables.
crazy, kind of.
They were good. It was just like literally the box was just like a yellowish orange instead of the. It was good.
Oh, what kind of cheese was it?
That's got to be some preserved.
Oh, dude, it was it was like Kraft American.
Yeah, that's cheese stuff.
What was the
Kraft American Singles? Not technically
cheese-ish.
What was the stuff? Was it Easy Cheese?
Squirt cheese.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
I always I know I've told
It'd
this
be
on
so
Flesh
trash now
before,
if I
so
tried
I
it, but it's like
apologize. But at UNC basketball camp,
Put on a better cheddar.
Yeah. They came out with the white cheddar.
Yeah.
At UNC basketball camp, we used to get those, and we just smash cans and cans of them with Ritz. But I used to do this thing, and it's so gross. I don't know why it wasn't gross at the time. I would just I would trace my entire hand
It's so
and
gross.
lick
I
it
hate
off,
this
and just
story.
suck my fingers and just lick it all off. And I don't know why. What a weird method of delivering that cheese to mouth.
If I was a Cajun can and I walked in on that, I would have called somebody.
This is
What
only
a weird method of delivering that cheese.
I knew it was bad because I'd only do it at camp. I never did it at home. But Ashley Megan says, my child asked me for insane things. His favorite food is lobster tails. What?
Whoa.
How do you get to your point where a child's favorite food is lobster tails?
Let's get the silver spoon out the hand.
Yeah, we're balling on a budget over here.
If I had to speculate, maybe she was cooking something with lobster tails, gave it to her kid. And
Yeah,
then
well,
Smart.
Generally, yes.
Smart take.
So it's a good take, Mario, in that eating the lobster tail is probably how he discovered he liked it so
Probably
much. So it's a good point.
Man, it's probably.
Straight out the
Hadn't
bag.
thought about that.
Let's. Matt, what do you think about what? Ashley says Velveeta's nasty. Girl,
come on.
Keep
I
your
don't know
opinions
about
to
that.
yourself from now on.
Girl,
Velveeta's
please.
awesome. Actually, Arkansas, the home of cheese dip.
Transition.
Of what?
The cheese dip.
Cheese
national-
dip?
Like Velveeta cheese dip, not
Okay.
queso. Velveeta, the cheese dip national championships take place in Arkansas, and
Like
it was
Velveeta and
invented.
Rotel?
Yes, it was invented in Arkansas.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Wait, the cheese dip national championship
Take place in
What is
Arkansas.
the competition? Like who
Who
makes
has
the best cheese?
What do you
dip?
mean?
Who has the
Are
best
you
cheese
dumb?
dip?
Yeah.
Just like any jambalaya competition
Yeah.
here. Who makes the best jambalaya?
When I
I
was,
want to see how you're going to transition this to football.
So,
Because they're playing Arkansas this
so
weekend.
Lacey, like when we go to like a Mexican restaurant, she loves the ones that have like the white queso.
Yeah.
Not really the yellow queso.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
So
white
when
queso's good.
we were in California, there was like a lot of legit like taco trucks everywhere, and so I went up to one.
No queso.
And I was like, hey, well, I think they did. I was like, hey, we want to make like which cheese do we buy to make like the white queso?
Right.
Because we can't ever get it. We've tried different cheeses. It's just not working to make it at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's just white American, white Velveeta.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow.
All right.
Okay. I was a little bit shocked.
Back in the day, you used to be able to get queso out in California. It wasn't in the, maybe it's invaded now, but it wasn't always there. I remember my brother actually worked for a queso food truck, and that was their whole angle, was they were kind of trying to bring queso to Cali. Isn't that weird?
Strange.
Yeah. I mean, that's surprising that in Cali they would use Velveeta. And sometimes when I first moved out there, my good friend Austin, who he came out there, and we were at a seafood restaurant. Like, it's fresh. I mean, we're right on the bay. And like we sit down, and he's looking around like, what are you looking for? He goes, well, they didn't put the starters out there. I'm like, what do you mean? And the waitress comes like, hey, y'all have any hush puppies? They looked at him like, what is a hush
what
puppy?
is wrong?
Wait,
This is not that kind of seafood restaurant.
So how about this, Taylor? From
They have lobster tails?
Yes.
From
Yeah.
littlerock.com.
No hush puppies, though.
If there's one thing you need to know about Little Rock, is that we take our cheese dip very seriously. We love to tell folks that cheese dip was invented in the area all the way back in 1935, and annually in October, the World Cheese Dip Championship attracts entrants from across the state and the country. They recommend if you go, because it takes advantage of the beautiful fall weather, that you bring a muffin tin to hold all your cheese dips.
Oh, very fun.
That sounds amazing.
Little pro tip.
A muffin tin full of cheese
That
dips.
sounds great.
I'm going to
Sounds
go. It's in
incredible.
October.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
But no, I guess my question was like, not what the competition is, but like, how do they differentiate
What do you
between
mean?
like cheese
Spices,
dip
stuff,
and
I don't know.
queso?
Like,
and little-
here's a fun little kitchen science tip for cheese dip, and you have to look it up to find the exact percentage. But so most cheese when you melt it, it's like stringy.
Yeah.
It's not like queso at the store.
Right.
But I think if you get, it's like 1 to 3% of the total overall weight of the mixture. Like if you put sodium citrate into almost any cheese and melt it with it, it turns it to a creamy dip.
What is this, Breaking Bad?
All right, this is
Look it
something
up.
that Lacey's wanted it, and you've had to do some research.
No, I did. I read it in a book.
When we get back,
Read about
close
cheese.
out hour number 2 of OTB.
Look at there.
Off the bench with Hester and. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on select new 23 Ford F-150 trucks. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
this Sunday as we bring you 3 NFL games, starting with our noon kickoff, the New England Patriots against the New York Jets. Immediately following that game, it's the Chicago Bears against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then our nightcap, the Steelers and the Raiders. Tune in here on 104.5 ESPN.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ted and yo, welcome back. OTB. Closing hour 2. Matt, what did you think about that offense last week?
Dominant.
They were?
Yes, continue.
Yeah, give us one good insight on football. You're a former NFL quarterback.
Former Tyler Lee quarterback.
There's no really good takes from that game. We were just way better than them.
This is true.
But
it does look like you should be way better than Arkansas.
It looked like they really
that's
sucked on defense because we played really well and we were better athletes than them.
Yeah, you push the ball down the field and with confidence, which is good to see.
That means nothing to you. Throwing deep touchdowns, one-on-one coverage means nothing to you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, why? What do you mean? It means nothing to me.
I mean, you don't have a single insight on how the ball was placed, the reads,
They were
pre-snap,
great.
post-snap.
The ball was placed great. They were incredible reads, incredible routes.
Now I feel
protection was unbelievable.
Now I feel like you're just being dismissive.
No, it's kind of hard to break down a game on Wednesday that happened on Saturday, right?
How about this? How about next time you come in, you just have us one take, just one, just one single solitary take on the game.
You gotta ask me. You gotta ask the right questions.
On Wednesday, would you rather me ask you?
You can't just say, "Hey, talk about the game."
What do you think about Mississippi State's offense? What do you think about Mississippi State's offense and how well Rodgers looked, knowing the air raid was something he thrived in? Now,
you know what's funny is they're still Mississippi State. They've never recruited any different. They have in the last 20 years, has their recruiting classes really fluctuated that much?
Probably
better
not.
or worse? They've still got the same guys.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we actually did pretty good running this creative offense with Mike Leach. And we had some really good years. Let's go back to the pro style.
I know.
Let's just see how that works for us.
It is.
Let's just be old Mississippi State.
It is mind-boggling. It is such a sign that Zach Arnett is in over his head that this is what he decided to do.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Because when you had other success, you had a Dak Prescott that was, somebody that he could go out there and he could win you games.
Right.
Because that wasn't a typical recruit for them, to your point.
Yeah.
So
It's just like when Les Miles came to LSU. It's like a Les Miles type coach going Mississippi State and be like, let's do it. We're just going to fundamentals.
Yeah.
We're going to run our powers, our zones,
Oh, I
our
know.
leads.
He's running
play action fake, set up the pass.
He's running a style of
Mississippi
offense
State.
that is incredibly talent dependent.
Yes.
That schemes up no advantages.
And grit dependent.
Yeah, that's what I'm
just
saying. And that's not. You're never going to win that battle.
No, you got to. You got to trick him, dick him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Look at that.
Let's just
we
do
got,
it.
We got something.
But hey,
something
you know
out of
what?
him.
What do good teams do? They take advantage of crap teams.
420 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 2 on the ground.
Do what you did what you were supposed to do.
I would say they went a step further than that. I mean, 9.5-point favorites. You end up winning, 41-14 by the end of that game? I'm going to say you exceeded what you were supposed to do.
Week 3 is a really good gambler's week. It should be.
I went 5-5.
Because Vegas doesn't know, and Vegas overreacts, right?
Yeah.
LSU's a really good team. That played a really
yes. So that is the other truth here that we were kind of getting at last game is that I think we did, like I said, I think we rubber banded a bit too hard when that was more about just Florida State being really complete. This LSU offense has been awesome except for 2 red zone stalls and the 2 drops.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State, there was a very even matchup until the end, which we were all disappointed in the end for various different reasons. But that game was back and forth, and they just made the bigger plays. And so just saying, the knee-jerk reaction, that's what I'm saying, week 3,
I see what
in
you're
college
saying.
football.
No, I get what
This
you're saying.
should be, if you can pick out good teams from film, this should be a really good gambler's week.
I will tell you this: Week 4 looks spectacular.
7 ranked on ranked matchups.
You know what's crazy too? I hope that
pretty good.
I hope that Tiger Stadium shows out. And I don't really care about this as much as others do. But we all know that like Death Valley rarely gets to Death Valley anymore, right? One night a year, maybe 2. I really hope they show out though, because it is a night game.
I think they
it's gonna be on ESPN, and Kirk and Fowler on the call.
Oh.
They actually sent them instead of sending them to Colorado, Oregon, they're coming down to Baton Rouge.
Wait,
Anytime
is
you got
Arkansas
hurt-
ranked?
No.
Okay.
They're bad.
They just lost to BYU.
Well,
I mean, BYU's
they were,
okay.
yeah. No, they're
No,
not.
they're
ranked.
bad. They're
Hey,
bad.
hot take. SEC's down this year.
Yeah,
So
very down.
the
Is that a hot
same
take?
way that you said you should take advantage of a bad team, like after watching Arkansas on film, the LSU offense should kick ass once again, and the defense probably should. I'm just a little less sure defensively, but I think it's kind of looking a little more of the same. I just think Arkansas has a slightly better scheme and a better quarterback in KJ.
Yeah,
Jefferson.
I would take all rushing total overs this week. If I'm Arkansas, I'm playing two shell, making us run to beat them.
Yeah, Arkansas 45% of the time cover 1. 45% of the time.
45.
I don't know if they're going to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
After watching
That's what
the
we
film.
said.
No, that's what I'm
we
saying.
said.
But like, can't that'd be crazy? It'd be crazy. Matt Flynn.
I hope they do.
Fluster it.
Take the overs.
Out there next, Nick Underhill.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bone.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Wednesday, September 20th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 94. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk Saints with Nick Underhill of New Orleans.football. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in OTB, hour number 3. Normally we do this on Tuesday, but he was flying yesterday. So we got our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans .football, here on the program once again. Saints 2-0. Is there stuff to improve? Absolutely. We'll get to it. But again, y'all, you ain't going to get me down when you're 2-0 for the first time in a decade, when you did it with great defense, and when you did it with clutch offense. Not overall good offense, but clutch offense. Nick, what's been your so I guess that's kind of my feeling on the season as a whole thus far. How would you describe your feeling through 2 games?
Well, I can tell how you're feeling because every time you're fired up, I come on here and you're showing your whole thigh. So that's always when I know it's a good morning.
Is that not the widest, milkiest thigh you've ever seen, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no question about it. There it is. All right. Whoa, behold. That kind of looks like their offense right now, to be honest. Not a whole lot of seasoning to it.
Okay. Relax, because at first glance, this thigh maybe looks a little like, it's a little pale, but then you see a little muscle definition. You start to feel it a little bit. And by the fourth quarter, you're like, I kind of like that thigh. Okay? So, yes, it is exactly like that.
But look, what was the question? I'm off the rails.
Okay. So that little soliloquy that I just gave, that is kind of my feeling overall through 2 games. Just give me your general sum it all up kind of feeling on this team through 2 games.
I mean, the defense is incredible. I mean, I think they're better than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think Dennis Allen gets enough credit for probably being like a top 5 defensive mind of his generation. Like he's unreal and he's killing it right now. And they were great last year on defense too, just didn't get the turnovers. They're getting pass rush with guys nobody's ever heard of. Like they look really, really good on defense right now. And you look at this team and it's like, man, if they can get to like stay like top 20 in offense, they can get in the playoffs, and DA is going to murder some teams in the playoffs, like just on offense, and they're going to have a chance. So, I think at worst they're relevant. I think they look like probably a playoff team right now, but I think the offense has to get a lot better. Look, just keeping it totally real. Like some of the stuff with Derek Carr has been a little bit disappointing. I think we were expecting a little bit more. It's taking a little bit of time to get going on some of it. There's some throws that I think that he's missed. There's been some inaccuracies. There's some throws he hasn't made. I think overall, though, he's managing these games really, really well. And, I think it's okay for it to be kind of slow going at first, but at some point it's got to pick up a little bit, and you got to handle some of these pressure situations and make some of these plays that he's not making. I mean, they're paying him a lot of money, and you kind of want to see a little bit better offense right now. But look, like the offensive line is still bad. There's no run game. They had no running backs. There's reasons for it. So I'm not rushing to judgment right now. It's just, you were kind of hoping like the build up throughout the summer that you were going to see like some fun offensive performances, and it has been the opposite of that. And it's a little disappointing to start, but I think it's okay. And, I was texting with the scout from another team during this game, and, just kind of, hey, like, what are your takeaways? What do you think of the Saints? What are you seeing? And like, his biggest point, I thought it was, very valid, is he said, look, they know what they are right now. A lot of teams have no idea what their identity is this time of year. They're a defensive team. They're not taking risks. They're playing very vanilla right now because they know the Panthers can't score. Like, this is probably how they're going to play, and that's the truth. And I mean, I think we all kind of wanted to see something a little bit different, but if you can play like this and you're winning consistently and it works, like, it's fine. And then when you got to dial it up, Derek Carr's going to hit Rashid Shaheed down the sideline, and they're going to make a play when they need to make a play. And I guess that's kind of what counts right now. So optically, I think it's maybe leaves a little bit to be desired, but I think it's okay. Like, it's fine, and they can build up, and they're going to probably be 3-0 looking terrible on offense or subpar on offense, whatever it is. But like, 3-0 is going to be 3-0. And, I think that's fine. That's a good place to build from.
I am a little nervous about the running back situation. The offensive line obviously not doing a great job, either pass protection or run blocking. But then you look at the depth chart, and you got a lot of red by the running back's name: questionable, out, suspended, IR, whatever it might be. Look, I appreciated the 11 personnel with Adam Prentice back there as a running back. I love that because you got a fullback in the game, but Saints fans probably don't love that. Where do you go now? Antonio Jones Jr. came in. He ran tough, but, yards per carry wasn't outstanding. Where are they going to go? How long are they going to be without some of these running backs?
I think I feel like they need to bring one more in this week. Kendrick Miller, I believe is going to play. So, I mean, that's big for them. I think he's going to be a really good player for them. I mean, he looked awesome this summer, and I thought he was better than Jamal Williams throughout the summer. I think he's going to breathe some life into that group, and they need somebody that can create a little bit, man, because like, they're just not, the blocking has been spotty at times. So if he can get a couple extra yards here and there on his own, I think that's huge for him. Tony Jones will probably be up again this week, but I think they got to go out there and they got to look for like someone that can help, like, just in a spot start. But if you told me they were going to get to week 3, no Alvin Kamara, and be 2-1 or 3-0, like, I would have taken that every single time. So I think they've managed it okay. It's a little bit surprising. I mean, look, that was a position that they just put so many resources into this offseason, and by quarter 2 of game 2, like, the whole plan's blowing up, and here's Tony Jones back from Denver, like, trying to save the day. Like, just wasn't what I expected. I think they got to get probably, we're going to say every single freaking week, but like, get Taysom a little bit more involved. Like, it was cool to see him like get pitched the ball like a regular running, but like figure out how to do that a little bit more. It works. So there's guys there, but I think they got to go out and they probably got to grab one more, like a veteran guy that can come in and help. You guys are going to ask about Leonard Fournette. I'm going to say probably not, but look, there's got to be somebody out there that can probably help.
But here, but that guy's not just Taysom. Why? Because like pass pro and stuff, like, what are we just like? Because I mean, at the end of that game, I mean, you just straight up lined him up in the backfield and were using him like RB1 style, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not, man. Like, that's a question we've been asking for years. I don't know. Like, I can't. I ask Pete Carmichael about it every week. Like, I don't know. He gives answers that don't make sense to me, or just like, we got to figure it out. I don't know. Figure it out. Like, you got this guy here that averages a lot of yards per carry, like every single time he touches the freaking ball. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that for years now it's just been like this I don't know, there's like a barrier there that it just hasn't opened up. Like, I don't get why he's not in the running back room. I don't get why you aren't just handing him the ball. Like, there's guys that play running back in the league that aren't very good at blocking and blitz pickup, but they still get carries. Like, they're still first down, like, just get them the ball somewhere, make use of them. You have this very, very unique player, like, figure out how to maximize it, but they haven't. And I don't understand it. I mean, it can't be as difficult as it seems. It's just like, we're going to hand the ball to Taysom and he's going to gain 6 yards. Like, just do that. Do it 6 times a game. Like, it'll work. I promise.
T-Bob, to Nick's point, Tony Jones Jr. graded out 43% in pass protection. Jamal Williams, 54%. We joked Adam Prentice came in, but he was 73%. So they felt like he gave them the best option, even though he's not going to be a huge receiving threat. I believe that was like in a 2-minute situation as well. So, like, to that point, you don't have someone that's elite in pass protection right now. Go put Taysom in there. You feel like he can give you just as much as you're getting currently right now. So
yeah, I mean, I would do yeah. So we all are kind of on the same page. It's up to Pete and the offense to do that now. Let's flip it back to the uber positive side of the ball defensively. Nick, I was shocked. Jeff Duncan just tweeting that right now, Marshawn Lattimore, the highest graded cornerback in the NFL according to PFF, Demario Davis, the number 2 linebacker according to PFF, and those are awesome, but not wholly unexpected. Maybe that ceiling is, but how about that? Carl Granderson, your number 7 edge defender in the NFL right now. Has Carl Granderson been the most, I would have him as my early MVP for this team at this point.
Yeah, he's looked awesome so far, and that was kind of one of my main concerns coming in was the defensive line, and they're shutting me up. Like, there's not a lot to nitpick about it right now. I mean, they've been really good, and yeah, Granderson's been at the forefront of that. He had 6 pressures in this game, and I can't remember what he had last week. It was a big number there too. So he's coming into his own. I think the big thing with him too is that he's getting better at run defense, and that's been kind of the acceleration for him over the last 2 years. And now he's gotten on the field more and more. But he's definitely looking like that guy right now. We'll see how it continues to progress, But you got Jordan Love this week. That's somebody else you could probably tee off on a little bit. Like, there aren't a lot of like quarterbacks that are you're looking at him, you're like, oh, this guy's gonna be able to protect himself this week. Like, there's a lot of guys that are just kind of guys that they're gonna play. So, I think their pass rush plan's probably gonna work. And you see DA continuing to be creative with how he's dialing this stuff up. Pete Werner had his first credit on a sack last week. Like, they're gonna get guys back there, and I think it's gonna work. I think they can piece it together probably better than I thought they were gonna be able to. I still would feel better if there was one more guy. I'd like to see Isaiah Foskey do some stuff. Didn't really see anything from him in this game.
Do something.
Yeah, I mean, I think they need one more option, but yeah, I mean, Granderson has probably been better than expected to start the season.
And remember our talk with Nick every single week, brought to you by former Tiger attorney Chris Perrett here on Off the Bench. What about Nick? Okay, so it's kind of funny. You mentioned Foskey, right? Another second-round pick, edge rusher that's just not working out. It looks like you finally hit on a first-rounder, though. Brazil looking strong through a couple of games. I haven't dove into this film to the level that you do. What have you thought about the Saints' first-round pick so far through 2 games?
He looks like the real deal, man. Like, he's polished. He has a plan. He knows what he's doing out there. It isn't, you see Foskey, and he's still trying to figure it out, and he has one move. Foskey has one move, and he's working everything off of the one move. And look, that's kind of where you got to start a little bit when you're just coming in as an athlete. You got to build it up a little bit. Brazil's polished, man, and you get into the league, and with him, it was just kind of like there was all this adversity in college, but he was a very polished player when you saw him play, when he was in shape and everything. And I think that's showing up right away. He's explosive. He's smart. He has a plan, all that stuff. I think he had 3 or 4 pressures in this game. So, I mean, he's producing right away. Yeah, and he's a player for him, and he's going to be a difference maker, I think, all season long. And I think he's going to keep getting better as the year progresses, as he, settles in as to his repertoire. I think he has to get a little bit better defending the run, stuff like that. But I mean, the pass rushing coming in, he's that guy right now. So it's been a while since I felt great about somebody they drafted in the trenches. I think Brazil's definitely a hit, though. Like, I would be super shocked if he doesn't have a good season.
Nick, how did you grade out Marcus May in this game? Because there was times that the one Bryce Young run that he had in the middle of the field, Marcus May just runs right past him, and it wasn't all bad. But this is a player that I think we're all expecting a little bit more from. And Jordan Howden is a player that he's right now just basically in pass situations. But, like, could we see maybe him get some more run there? You're like, is Marcus May somebody that you think can continue to get better? Because we know what the contract is.
Yeah, that play was a tough look, man. Open field, and you just kind of, I don't know. Like, you gotta make a move on it. You gotta do something. Miss a tackle. Like, just do.
Yeah, I mean, it was odd looking.
Yeah, it was just kind of like he was like, well, I'm cooked, and like didn't do anything. Like, you gotta try to do something there. And it was tough, man.
You gotta pull one of them big
I thought he had
dives. That might be a weird reference, Nick. Have you ever seen that clip of Big Fave? He's in like a preseason game. The running back's like 5 yards away from him, and he just lays out in the air. Can't question the effort to do that.
There's some effort though, man. Like you just you gotta do something. But I thought he had a good summer, and that this game was a little bit, it was shaky, man. The coverage was shaky. I thought that play was a little bit shaky. He had a couple things in run defense that were okay. Like I like his range. I like the idea of him. It's just kind of you want to see a little bit more dynamic stuff there. And man, when you get caught in one of those like isolating moments, it's just so hard to get that taste out of your mouth when you see it. It's just you gotta try to do something there. Look, I like Howden a lot. I mean, I think he's going to keep progressing. He's going to keep getting more snaps. I think he's a player too, for real. And he's looked really good in that dime package when they brought him in. He can play in the box. He can play deep. He has that versatility. May has some of that. Tyron definitely has it. I mean, so he's another guy that can add to that mix. But yeah, May was like, look, man, like early on in his career with New York, like he was kind of the other young guy that you talked about in conjunction with Marcus Williams. Just kind of like, these are the two young safeties that are kind of out here killing it, looking really good. Last year he was coming back from the Achilles. I thought week one he was good. This week it was just like it's got to be a little bit better than that for sure.
Hey, Nick, you mentioned offensive line. We mentioned it coming into the year. That was maybe the biggest limiting factor. That was going to determine where this team went. Two guys that I want to highlight here. First, what growth did you see from Penning game 1 to game 2? And then what's going on with Cesar Ruiz right now?
Well, I thought Cesar struggled. I mean, I thought he gave up a little bit too much in this game. So, that was a tough line. We'll see how he shakes back. But yeah, I kind of wanted to see him start the season a little bit better. I thought Penning was a little bit better. Like they didn't have to. I was surprised they didn't have to send like extensive help to him. Like he was okay. He still gave up way too much. Like it still has to get better. I talked to him after the game. He kind of like ducked us all week, and then after the game, I finally ran him down. He said in week 1 that he was kind of playing to not lose, and he was scared a little bit, didn't have his confidence, was just trying to survive and not make mistakes. And then this week he was kind of attacking it a little bit more, playing with a little bit more confidence, and he thought felt more successful coming off the field. I think if you just keep having days like, you just got to keep getting better and better and better and better at it, and it has to happen in a hurry though. But I do think he took a little bit of a step forward. I don't think the matchups are going to be as tough the next few weeks. Like week 1, week 2, I think we're about as hard as those matchups were going to be on him. But it's not there yet. I mean, you can't give up 4 or 5 pressures every single game. Like that's just way too much. That can't be the norm. Yeah. I think James Hurst is struggling too, man. Like he's got to play better. And I'm sure there's some element of like the guy next to you maybe not holding all of his own, kind of exposes you a little bit. But that whole left side of the line right now is just it's weak. I was a little bit surprised that the Panthers didn't throw more at it. Like I would have been like just sending 2 guys through the gaps. Like they did that to him 2 years ago with those double A gap blitzes, kind of like walked them up on him over and over and over and over, and the Saints couldn't stop him. Like I didn't see that kind of effort to try to like just expose the left side of the line. That was the most shocking thing to me. Not having Burns over there just to see if you can just dominate with one guy and force a 2-on-1 the whole game and kind of force the offense to be, a 10-man operation because you got 2 on this one. Like there were things they could have done. I would have been sending stunts at Penning the whole game. Like I would have just went after him and they didn't, but he held his own. And I thought he looked fair, like maybe a little below fair, but it's definitely got to get better.
Hey, Nick, before we let you go, I want to ask you about a player we talked a lot about in the offseason. That is Michael Thomas. Right now, he's on pace to have over 100 catches and right at 1,000 yards. Ooh, yeah. And I realize it's under 10 yards per catch, but he feels like he is a great kind of safety net for Derek Carr so far. 12 catches after 2 games. And I think if you get this version of Michael Thomas, it might not be the peak version that won Offensive Player of the Year, but it's exactly what this team needs.
Oh, he looks amazing, man. He's back. Like he's that guy. Like he's making physical catches. He's sacrificing his body. The one where he went up and, stayed in on the sideline, kind of got his ass down before he fell out of bounds. Like he looks really, really good. He's making all the plays that you want him to make. I think he's running well. He looks violent on his cuts. I don't see anything that looks weird about him. I mean, look, obviously 2019 is like a wild standard, but I don't know. You go out there and look, it looks like Mike Thomas, how many years ago was that? 4 seasons ago? Like, 4-year progression from them. It kind of looks like he's where he's at. I think look, I think I said this on here before. Like, I think he has a chance if he stays healthy to be the guy that leads the team in receptions and somebody else leads in yards. And that's kind of what you want this team to be. You got two really explosive playmakers. You have Mike be the chain mover. My criticism of this is that, like, Carr just didn't find him in the second half. Like, he had 7 catches in the first half. Like, keep getting him the ball. The other thing I really like about him too is, like, on some of these broken plays, like, if you watch the all 22, like, you can see Mike just, like, making the necessary adjustments. They're kind of seeing the field together. It hasn't quite clicked yet, but when you kind of get that element going too, and they're just completely on the same page, I think it's gonna take another step. But man, he started the season. I think if you had to say, like, an ideal scenario for weeks 1 and 2, I think he's hit the mark so far.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I think, like, ideal would be how this last game broke down, where Mike had the most catches, Olave had the most yards, Shaheed had the highest average. Like, that'd be great if you could expand that over an entire year. Nick Underhill, Nick_Underhill, brought to you every single week by attorney Chris Perrette. Nick, New Orleans on Football is the site. Thank you so much for coming on. The site's incredible, y'all. Him, Mike Triplett, Burt Kirkhofer, the entire team over there doing fantastic work. Well worth, going to subscribe. Also, you can buy their beer in grocery stores. How about that? Oh, look at him, dude.
There it is. Yeah. Dude. Cheers.
Are you drinking already, Nick? I know you're like that. Come on. That's like me. What's up? Is that thing open?
Gotta get through these interviews, man. You showed that thigh. Like, I just got out of source. I don't know. I think it's come down there.
All right, Nick. You have a great day, man.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Greg, when's the last time Mike T finished 2 games healthy? 2019? Yeah, I guess he got hurt game 2 last year, right? So
yeah, last year.
Hell yeah, bro.
Now
we rolling. Hey, you know what it's a good sign for? It's a good sign for Zion. You know?
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
I'm actually not even joking.
He ran sprints the other day.
You know what's funny? You can laugh all you want, but he does look great. Okay?
He does. And we're kind of paying our penance.
He's looked great before.
Nope. Not like this.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this train, T-Bob, and I think they're paying their penance a little bit with Alvarado and Murphy being hurt.
You know what's funny? You don't need Trey Murphy and Jose Alvarado if you got Big Z.
Look, I would love for him to be healthy, T-Bob.
Okay.
But I'm not falling for this again.
That's fine.
If he's healthy, I will love it, but I got to see it.
Well, look, I'm bolder than you, okay? I have more courage. I have the chest to handle these expectations.
You are bolder than me.
Big Z looks great.
Colorado shirts say that.
Which one?
You said you ordered some.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't get the that's a very good joke, actually.
Yeah. Well done, Taylor.
Zion did an interview with Gilbert Arenas about his mentality changing. Y'all can believe it. Y'all can not, but I would implore y'all to watch it.
That's right, baby. You know what time it is?
No. We cannot believe it until he proves us wrong.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's
I'm
the
not
whole
going to
point.
believe it.
If he proves us wrong,
I'm a foxhole guy, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
If he proves us wrong, then that's when we come in here and say, "Gosh, that looks good. Thanks for proving us wrong.
100%.
You turned it around.
You can't give him the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt.
Nope. I don't care, because friends stick up for friends, okay? And you give your friends the benefit of the doubt even when they haven't earned it. Yes. You know what time it is? It's almost basketball season. Okay, let's go.
Get his stepdad to come on the show again.
Let's go, Z. Big Z. More OTB next.
OTB, OT.
Big Z. CentralPlumbing.org. CentralPlumbing.org. They're never injured, always available 24/7. Emergency service. No worried about them being on the bench when you need them to fix your turlet.
But if they were injured, they'd still come out. They'd find somebody to come out. Yeah, like
for sure.
365, 24/7.
Giant fleet. Which also means it's not just residential. If you're listening, you're a business owner, you have like an office building, something they can, insurance, paperwork, personnel, they got your back. They cover all of that. But I find experience really matters in these things. Y'all have been doing this for 50 years. 50 years. How do you stand the test of time if you're not doing things correctly and your customers aren't always satisfied? CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org.
Yeah, go to that website. The fleet that T-Bob's talking about is right there on the homepage. Like, you'll see it. They got vans on top of vans on top of vans ready to go. So anytime that you have that emergency, yes, call them. They're ready. But also, if you're looking to upgrade at your home or business, they can do that. CentralPlumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
What about Skechers?
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It was a humid day barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. Brian Kelly updates the prep for Arkansas. Russ Mitchell will join us, and we'll head to Green Bay to check in on the Packers. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hate to do it, but I'm going to have to put a smoke break in a 5-minute timeout. Sorry, bro. Said I like tomatoes in my gumbo. There are certain lines you don't cross. And I'm not even faulting you if you do, but I don't. And so I don't want that misinformation spread about me. Sorry, bro. Come back after you've thought about what you did. YouTube.com/1045ESPN so you can get in that chat. Jake, so Gulf South was asking, what's up with Jake and Chris Doring's pregame in the SEC? It's a great show, but no one pushes it or markets it. You got some pretty big news coming in pregame in the SEC, huh?
Thanks for the love there, and we do have some big news. Now, because it's just something that we started, I guess there's nobody really to push it before now, because now pregaming the SEC can be heard on SEC Radio, channel 374 on Sirius XM every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. And so you can listen to it there, and also Apple and Spotify and YouTube and the whole deal. So Mincy's going to be a guest this week.
Nice. Hell yeah. A little Ole Miss, Alabama action. You got Jackson Dart, the 6th highest rated quarterback in the entire country, one of 7 quarterbacks with an over 200 quarterback rating, going against an Alabama team that, let me find this text that I saw last night. It was, no, okay, I'm going through these. No, did y'all hear about Kim Kardashian and Odell Beckham dating?
I did. It's legit, apparently.
What's bigger news, Kim and Odell or Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? But Jason Kelce said he thinks it's 100% true.
I would say Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, only because Taylor's on that big tour right now. Like she's the hot name, so I'll say that's a bigger deal.
Tour of all time, by the way.
Yeah, Kim K and Odell are a little closer to being washed up. I think the Kelce Swift news
kind
is
of
much.
a wash thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Hey, she's about to be an American Horror Story. Saw that yesterday.
Who?
Kim Kardashian.
American Horror Story still going on.
Still going on.
Yeah, so I saw an ad for it yesterday or something.
I watched like a lot of American Horror Story back in the day. I thought a lot of it was fantastic.
I used to
Some of
like
it was
them.
Yeah, I don't
awful,
know one way or the other.
But I think it's kind of interesting it's still going on. Ryan Murphy. Guy knows how to get a TV show, man.
Yeah, I saw like a tease for it or something on Facebook.
FX?
Yeah, FX and the ad said Hulu as well.
Yeah, Hulu owns FX, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they do because like all of their shows are like the first thing you see.
Yeah.
You
So Ole Miss, though, like I said, Jackson Dart, 6th highest rated quarterback in the entire country.
Somebody that used to say more like Jackson Fart.
More like Jackson Darsh.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he was Jackson Fart last year. I mean, Lane tried to bring in Spencer Sanders and Walker Howard to beat him out. So credit Jackson Dart for being a man.
Or
and just
did he
so
bring him
fast.
in to push him because
Exactly.
he thought that there was potential
same
there?
thing.
Huh?
Same thing.
Huh?
Same exact thing. Still know what Spencer Sanders is thinking. I now understand what Mike Wright was thinking because Zach Arnett was like, I hate Will Rogers. I'm going to ruin him, Mike Wright, so you can't play if you come here. So like that makes more sense now. I mean, is that not exactly?
No, yeah, it's just harsh reality, I guess.
Like the Cowboys with Trey Lance.
Hey, it's like, Will, you've almost set every single SEC record. I got an idea. Let's put you in the worst possible offense for you.
Yes.
And
This is how we win.
I didn't do the victory lap because I'm not a huge fan of that. But like all season long, we talked about this. We talked about it here. Cole and I at Media Days. We did a whole show when it was Mississippi State Day there at Media Days about how it's going to be so much different, that it's going to be a struggle at times, and you're going to have to figure it out. And Mississippi State fans, and I forget old boy's name that covers them, I mean, they just hammered us.
But it's like, I just never, but could you still even then fathom that it would have been to this extent?
I would have never fathomed they would have gone that far away.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, that's
like,
me
I
too.
thought it was going to be different. This is like to the extreme.
So here's where this gets interesting. Ole Miss is going to have a distinct quarterback advantage Saturday in T-Town. The question is this Ole Miss defense, which I don't think has looked great, right? I mean, it's tough to judge the Tulane game because of Pratt being out. But I guess what I'm saying is this Ole Miss defense is going against an Alabama offense. This is shocking. This comes from Graham Coffey on Twitter.
That's a made-up name.
Actually, who is he? I recognize him from something.
He's Glenn Coffey's
brother.
brother.
No. I follow him. He's the co-founder and publisher of DogCentral.com. UGA fan.
DogCentral.com.
Yeah. DAWG.
It does feel like a name that. Oh yeah, of course it's that.
Things I never thought I'd see. Here are some of Alabama's SEC ranks currently. Yards per game, 12th.
Yeah.
At 367. Pass yards per game, 13th at 196. Yards per pass, 6th, 13th. Yards per play, 5.8, 13th. Offensive success rate, 43%, that's 12th. Negative play percentage, 11%, that's 13th. Sack percentage, 12.4, that is dead last in the SEC. This Alabama offense has been awful. So the question is, with Jalen Milroe now firmly back as a starter, and he should be, he's clearly better than the other two. Will it be different against this Ole Miss defense?
Who has the advantage in this matchup? Is it Alabama knowing Pete Golding, the defense coordinator for Ole Miss, who is a longtime DC at Alabama, or is it Pete Golding knowing the personnel? Like, now he doesn't know Ty Simpson or Tyler Buckner, but he does know Jalen Milroe.
I'm going to say Pete Golding because the offense is already really bad, right? So I would say Pete Golding.
But he also knows things that Milroe or whoever's in their offensive line struggle with.
That's what I mean. And so if you already have a bad offense, and I have extreme intel on them, like their offense is worse than Ole Miss's defense is bad, at least statistically. And so I would score that 1 for Golding.
Well, and don't forget, Lane actually knows who Alabama's defensive coordinator is too. So
true.
Advantage Kiffin.
True, which he also doubled down on as well, which I really enjoyed. One thing that I was thinking about yesterday, it's got to be a really insane experience for Alabama fans to have gone through the otherworldly run of quarterbacks that you had: Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, Bryce Young. 4 quarterbacks that are starting in the NFL. 2 guys that are borderline top 5 guys in the NFL.
Tua's MVP favorite right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so you go from that now to this. That breeds anger, frustration. Like that's the path to the dark side. That's insane to me.
Well, I love reading Tiger droppings for the crazy fan takes.
Yeah.
2 Saturdays ago, I was in heaven. I was reading TexAgs.com when A&M lost, and then I slid over to Roll Tides, whatever it is.
What is theirs? What is their big one? Do you know?
I don't know the exact name, but I was disappointed. It was a lot of rational thoughts. It was a lot of non-overreaction. They were like, well, ride's over, boys. It was a good time or whatever. I was thoroughly disappointed.
You're on the wrong message.
I was disappointed, honestly.
You must have been on maybe like the higher membership one or one like.
Well, I mean, I didn't pay for it. So.
But no, I know. But I'm saying, message boards become a community unto themselves, right? And you were in the wrong. In the wrong area.
The A&M one was phenomenal, but the Alabama one I was a little disappointed.
It's like going to different neighborhoods, right? Like you just didn't go to the crazy neighborhood.
Maybe not. Or I didn't go to the right street.
Yes, exactly. Because I guarantee you it's out there. If you follow Message Board Geniuses on Twitter, you see it. Hey, look, I do want to remind you if you're gambling this week in the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge. If you're signed up for the first time and you use that promo code Baton Rouge, you bet $5 on an NFL game, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Win or loss, doesn't matter. You win. Also, remember that every NFL game day during the month of September, returning customers is getting not 1, but 2 great deals that you can go take advantage of. So the bottom line, if you're going to be playing this weekend, you want to be gambling, college, NFL, whatever it is, you want to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The crown is yours. It's just the most fun place to play, and it's an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Remember, you must be 21 or older. Physically present in Louisiana, select parishes only. Bonus bet expires 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms of sportsbook at DraftKings.com/football terms. Licensed partner, Gold Nugget Lake Charles. Gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. More OTB when we get back.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new 2023 Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
And get ready for the workday.
I've been taking Nutrafol for about a year.
I've been taking Nutrafol just over 4.5 years.
My hair was thinning.
I just gave birth. I was under a lot of stress.
I like Nutrafol because it's drug-free and the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement.
My hair feels thicker,
stronger.
The breakage is less.
Nutrafol has taken me back to the hair I was meant to have.
Join the 1 million people growing at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com.
Haniger join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch with the original walk-ons, Burbank at Nicholson. Randy McKay, Wes Reynolds, and Scott Rabelais will all be with us live at lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hey, I got some big news, y'all, from our friends at Patient Plus. And listen up, especially if you're someone and you got like a family plan in terms of your health insurance that has like a super high deductible. This is a pretty incredible deal that Patient Plus has started, and it's a new membership program. And I know what you're thinking. Everything is subscription. You're like, what the heck, man? Do I need another subscription in my life? But how about this, Jake? If you're an individual, it's $20 a month, $4 a month for a couple, $60 a month for a family of 3 to 4, and then an additional $10 if it goes 5 and up. So, you know, for you'd be
additional $10 right here.
And look, if you pay up front, you pay for the whole year, you get 10% off. It's a great. But here's and while you think, oh my God, I don't want to pay for it, here's the deal though, Jake. You get unlimited visits, okay? The only one in Baton Rouge doing it, and this is for all of your flu, COVID, X-rays, UTIs, like any scan shots, steroid shots, whatever you need. But check this out. You go twice, and you come out ahead.
Yeah.
Not twice a month.
Right.
You go twice in a year, and you have saved money. And so what if you had unlimited visits where you didn't have to worry about like, I mean, I feel awful, but I can't go in because I'm worried about spending this money. Well, now you can. Unlimited visits, $20 a month. If you want to sign up, go to patientplusuc.com/memberships. It is an incredible deal, y'all, for you and your family. If you got one of those high deductibles and it costs you a lot to go, you want to check out this Patient Plus membership program, patientplusuc.com/memberships. All right. I got to talk about Ahsoka real quick here, guys, because I'll give a spoiler-free Ahsoka review. This show is absolutely fantastic. Episode 6, another banger. There's a freshness to this show that the Star Wars universe has been sorely needing. It's new, it's exciting. It's I think I forgot who said on Twitter, I apologize. But it's both at once providing new mystery while also closure, which I think is hard to do. And somebody hit me up on Twitter yesterday and said, okay, that was Kate Limited. Kate Lemon, NOLA No Legal, on Twitter said, Ahsoka continues to bring excellent mystery and even resolution to the Star Wars universe. I think that's very well said. And then somebody hit me up on Twitter, Jake, and they said, I can't explain it. Filoni's just killing it. It just feels like Star Wars. And that's a sentence that I normally don't like, because when people talk about feeling like Star Wars, they think about like the pure aesthetics or the type of story they're telling or this or that. And it's like, no, I don't want to be married to just doing the same thing over and over again. But I think I know what he's saying. When he says it feels like Star Wars, the magic is back. Like the magic, it is evoking those same feelings of intrigue and wonder and fun and excitement that, these shows have when they're at their best. So if you are even an ancillary Star Wars fan, I cannot recommend Ahsoka enough. It is fantastic, and is a culmination for Dave Filoni. I mean, he's the true heir to the throne from George Lucas. And these last 2 episodes have just really, really blown me away. So shout out to Ahsoka. It's awesome. Has Knox been watching? Have any of the boys been watching?
No, they have not. Knox has football practice like literally every day. So it is
stop me.
School.
I'm disappointed in him. I'm going to have to get on him.
Practice.
I don't care.
Dinner, sleep.
Excuses are like buttholes, okay? They stink. And everybody's got them.
Well, also,
some like to eat them.
Also, I'm gonna,
I'm gonna eat that excuse.
I'm gonna put school ahead of Star Wars as well as football ahead of Star Wars.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, maybe on the football front, yes, but no. Okay,
not school.
Not school. Heck no. I think anything he does in 6th grade matters. I mean, I hope you're not listening out there, kids. Because
isn't 6th grade like where it starts to go in your transcript, or is that?
I think it's high school.
I think 8th.
8th grade.
Yeah, technically.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
You don't be doing all that school. He's doing more Star Wars. The kid had great knowledge.
I think
he might be doing it.
He was on the path to being a lore master.
I mean, he might
be very disappointed if he's not watching.
He might be doing it like when he's supposed to be sleeping. He might be logged into Disney+.
I feel like it's
a
slippery slope these days because there's so much like esports and people that do that for a living and do really well, and kids are just like, I want to do that with all my time.
Oh, it's influencer. It's like, well, yeah. You have to, there has to be something interesting about you to be an influencer.
But that's no different.
YouTuber, whatever it is.
It's so different than wanting to be a professional athlete or a rock star or a pop star. It's all the same thing.
So reality's got to hit you in the face.
Long odds jobs where maybe you actually do end up pulling it off, but there's a lot of people that tried and it doesn't work out for a lot of people.
Those are longer odds than being an influencer or YouTuber, I would feel like.
I feel like there are some weird economies where, yes, you can make, in the age of crowdfunding, you can make a living with smaller communities than you could in the past, for sure. I mean, Patreon, stuff like that. But yeah, look, tell Knox, just sit him down. And if I need to sit him down, let me know. Because we need to just do a little priority check.
Man, you ain't got time to sit him down just like I do.
I'll call him. I'll do a Zoom. You can do a Zoom tonight and talk to him about it.
Look, I already told you. I don't know. Memphis might act weird around you because you were cigaretting.
That's not true. Did he see me cigaretting?
No, but I mean,
don't let him know that
he heard you say it though.
I only cigaretting on.
Yeah,
at Don Juan.
Well, I went to Don Juan's with you this weekend.
No, I know that's it though. That's all I'm saying.
We were talking about it on the radio on Monday on the way to school. It was a 7:15 time, and so he heard you talking about it. He's like, "T-Bob cigaretting."
Well, he in T-Bob's defense, he's cigaring.
Well, bit of 1 heater per quarter, 1 double mezcal per quarter. That's the rule.
It's okay.
Ben Levy, I sucked at 6th grade, and look at me now, commenting on a radio show at 9:45 on a Wednesday. Hell yeah, Ben. You're right.
That's good.
See?
It's good stuff.
That could be Knox if he gets his priorities straight.
So y'all's like transcript from 6th grade all the way to high school, like I think mine was just 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yeah, high school's all that matters. 8th grade did not kick in Georgia. In Georgia, it was
so I
only
went
high
to
school.
I went to a middle school, high school combination.
Yeah.
So I took high school classes in 8th grade that were on your high school transfer.
Okay,
Yeah,
see,
that makes sense.
I'm the only one in the room that did public school, so that's probably why I was only 9th through 12th.
Right. Yeah.
The point is, kids, don't do your homework. Do watch Ahsoka. Okay, it'll make you a more well-rounded individual.
Yeah, I mean, just count on getting a scholarship like T-Bob and I did.
Yeah, easy money.
Yeah.
When we get back, let's close the show with a little Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT.
What I just engaged in, some would say, was bad advice. Okay, let me make up for it with some undeniably good advice, Jake. You get in an accident, you want Gordon McCurdy and injury attorneys fighting for you. You do this by putting in whatever area code you want and then typing 888-8888. This is going to help you get in touch with a team that's going to get you what you deserve. Follow Gordon McCurdy Injury Attorneys at Get Gordon on social media. The content machine is rolling 24/7 tips, tricks, steps to do, how to handle yourself when you're in these situations, general life advice, members of the G team, all your favorite athletes giving you insight into their lives. It's all there for you at Gordon. Get Gordon, get Gordon, get Gordon.
GetGordon.com is the website, and it's $9.49, so you can't pick up the phone because you're at work and you can't call them, but it's okay because you can go to that website and you can get everything done right there. You can have a chat with them. You can get that consultation set up on the website as well. GetGordon.com, GetGordon.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The interior of an Infiniti is thoughtfully designed to be all about you. And by you, we mean every version of you. Because there's luxury you can feel, and there's luxury that lets you feel. Infinitely you. Experience luxury like never before with Infiniti Premium Care, included with the 2023 QX80 at your local retailer.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Voisin, inviting you to join me, along with the coaches Todd Black and Jimmy Roy, for the next edition of Louisiana Prep Weekly. Our special guest will be Port Allen head football coach Don Gibson. Live from Walk-Ons in Town Center, it's Louisiana Prep Weekly, Wednesday night at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Well, come
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back in Off the Bench here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. T-Bob had a haircut. T-Bob is very particular about his hair, so it was right at 10 o'clock. So we are closing out the show today here without T-Bob because he had to run. Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus, Wheat. Ask the Bench. What's worse, putting tomatoes in your gumbo or dusting your crawfish?
Never had dusted crawfish. Would be down to try, but tomatoes and gumbo is always a no.
I don't think I've ever had either one.
I've never had dusted crawfish. To me, it just seems like all this, like none of the seasoning would actually get in. I don't know though. I'll pass on both.
Yeah, I think I will as well. Ask the Bench, who wins, the Beast from Beauty and the Beast or Shrek?
Oh,
good question. I'm gonna go Beast.
Yeah, they're both kind of mild-mannered, but when you get them mad, I'll go Shrek.
Well, Shrek is Shrek quick enough on his feet? The lateral movement there, I just don't know.
Yeah, Beast.
Ask the Bench, is Snoop Dogg the most successful rapper of all time? He said, think about it. Name a rapper that your grandma and your kids both know. It's a great point.
Longevity, maybe.
Like my 7-year-old was talking about Snoop Dogg the other day.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess all around success, yeah.
Yeah, he's up there for sure.
I think it's a great question. Let's see. Ask the Bench, who is the most overrated team in college football so far this year?
Texas A&M.
Still Texas. I'm sorry. Bama's not good.
I am going to go Ohio State.
Good
so far. I don't know that they've played anybody. In fact, they haven't, and it's a great test against Notre Dame this weekend in South Bend. College game day going to be there, and it'll be a real test. If they win that one, then they're exactly where they need to be. All right, we love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. We're Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
All right, go to AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com, and right there on the website, you can schedule that appointment. So right now, if, again, maybe you can't pick up the phone, you can't, schedule that appointment right there, but you can do it on the website at your desk. Like if you're supposed to be working, it's okay. You can do it. I do it all the time. Like during the show, one time I needed them to come out. I scheduled it online and they sent me the profile to my phone. Hey, here's who's coming to your home. Here's a little background information. I mean, it gets detailed because they want you to know exactly who's coming into your home, who is going to work on your unit. Then the work is going to be top notch. That's why the internet hates everything, but they love Accutemp because you can't deny the work that they do for you, the customer service that you get whenever they come and they service or install whatever they're doing. They're going to do it at the highest level possible. So, again, go to the website today, schedule that appointment. You can also 225-396-2071 is the number, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're